Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the QT.
Bonjour!
We're here.
It's good to be
It's
back.
my fault. I'm so sorry. I love you all.
It's not your fault.
It's technology's fault.
Technology's fault. It's
a
Windows'
little bit
fault.
Katie's fault.
It's
Yeah, a little bit.
Bill Gates' fault. It's the engineer's fault. You know. Yes, we had a few little.
It's a lot of people's fault, but I blame Katie.
Okay.
I'll take it.
I mean,
Primarily Katie's fault.
if we're in to blame Katie, then I'm in too. Like, let's do this. Okay,
So
so
we're here for it.
welcome
Shame
back.
King.
Welcome back to the QT episode number 5. This was debt, and it almost didn't happen because of Katie's fault.
It's all me. It
That's
was.
not true.
I traveled around the world, sabotages everyone's computers overnight. You're welcome.
That's true.
I knew I didn't leave the window open.
I knew I did.
Huh.
Did the
That's
meowing
right.
work though?
That's what I heard at 2 a.m.
Meow. That's
So,
what I did, everyone.
yeah, channel stuff. There's a Patreon. Hey guys, if you like the shows that we're making, go check out the Patreon. You can become a patron for as little as $3 a month. And all of that money goes directly into paying the cost. Shit, I was supposed to ask you guys to send me your details so I can pay you
It's
the
okay,
first.
next time.
After the episode, we'll talk. Patreon. Yeah, there's a whole load of things there. Currently, you get access to a little private section of the Discord where essentially we organize some community to the things. Occasionally I talk about things that I have planned. The patrons, for example, quite a few of them know what the next plan for the next show is, and still haven't told anyone. So they're really enjoying the
Wow.
secrecy.
Kudos.
Miraculous.
Yeah.
My brain was immediately like, why don't we just take like pictures of Katie's notes and post them on the Patreon? Like, there you go. That's
They're psychotic.
Patreon content. Yeah.
You guys want my notes? I'll let Sheepy sell that shit. What's up?
Yeah.
Do you want the ramblings of an insane woman?
Mm.
Now for $3.
Absolutely.
now for $3 a month.
Absolutely.
They're color coded.
You can watch the episodes and still not know what's going on in them.
Do you want to feel even more lost?
Do you need a quick summary of the episodes? Katie's notes are not the place to get it.
So, additionally, one of the things I am considering doing, and I'd like essentially community feedback, so feel free to jump in the Discord and let me know what you think about it. One of the things I'm thinking of starting is for the higher tiers, essentially running a fairly casual like D&D game where I will pay for a GM to GM us out of my own pocket, not out of the show pocket. That's pointless. And we can just, I'm not going to GM for you guys because
I'll DM you, Sheepy. Just hit me up.
interesting. Okay.
I
okay.
would pay to watch that
What it
on
would
the Patreon.
Ooh.
Oh.
What it would
Snap.
probably be is a pretty simple once a month kind of thing where we just get together, play a little, maybe not D&D, maybe something else. Who knows what it would be?
Whatever game you want. I know them all.
There you go. We'll have to talk. But yeah, one of the things I didn't want to do on the Patreon, and keep this in mind if you're like, oh, I would pay $50 to be in a D&D game. I don't want to sell my GM services and basically be like, hey guys, give me money and I'll GM you. But I think it
whore.
would be fun to have a game, a community game where people in Patreon who are pledging a decent amount of money will be able to enjoy
Makes sense.
some benefits. It's all a sticky, meandering thing where I'm trying not to sell the patron. I'm just trying to give benefits.
Like you said, Sheepy, we'll talk. I got plans. I got ideas.
Cool.
Help you out.
Okay.
I'm not doing
I
much at the
believe in
moment,
it.
so
Oh, you know
damn.
what you can do with a broken arm?
GM.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
GM.
Hey, we probably need to talk about getting you into to GM a show.
I can do that too. Yeah. Anyway, we
Well,
got this.
fuck
Show right now.
Fuck the patron. Come and do a show for me. Sorry, guys,
will.
but you know. But yes, essentially, past that, there is Twitter, where I put out when the stream is live. There is Discord, where I put out where the stream is live, and there is the Twitch stream, which is live right now.
Hell yeah.
That's where you are if you didn't know.
Yes.
Or
Welcome.
if you're watching this on VOD, not where you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Facts. My bad.
11 PST on Mondays, right here.
Oh god. Yeah, no, someone said get Elf to do a GM as Tori in the QT.
Oh,
Can you
my
imagine
God.
getting meta with this and your cat?
Look, we'll play Monster Hearts and I'll GM in character as Tori.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
All the
Don't
characters
tease
play
me like this.
play a game of D&D.
Tori's group of friends.
If
my
I get
God.
to pick one of my NPCs, I call Joel.
I think Joel's required at this
I call
point.
Bertrand.
This is like some Tiny Tina's Wonderland like DLC.
Oh,
level meta
yes.
shit. Yeah.
So, am I like a bird or something?
Poor Joel.
Oh. So yes, what happened in the last episode? Good question. A lot happened in the last
I fell
episode.
asleep, and I'm sorry
a
about
lot
that.
happened in the last episode. I have a lot of questions from the last episode.
My immediate quick summary of the last episode, if we needed to do it like lightning fast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hit it.
Everybody except for Cecilia got blackmailed into coming in by saving their lives, to coming in to work for Mr. Ashford.
Yeah.
That's like the overview
Yeah.
quickest summary I can do. And Cecilia learned some shit about her powers. That's the
Cecilia
other part.
learned some shit about her powers. She had a little introduction to Mr. Grey, Bertrand
Yeah.
Grey, who she told to go away. We used her
Stop
powers on.
mixing up Tori and Cecilia.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
sorry,
not.
Tori, not Cecilia.
Yeah.
Cecilia, though, I had a question. I think someone said this in chat at the end of last episode. Will Cece side with Mr. Knight?
Great question.
And that has been haunting me all week. Because I don't think Cece's evil. I don't think she has
No.
any ill intentions, but I
No.
think she hates Ashford enough.
yeah.
Like, I think she truly just despises all about him so much that she might rationalize being with, like, going along with Mr. Knight or something. I don't know.
Ardanian
she
in chat is like,
disapproves of Mr. Ashford. I'm not sure she hates him.
Ardanian in chat. During the last session, we learned how much a human life is worth.
Yeah.
True, and mine is not the most.
Mine
Well,
is the most.
Get
actually.
a,
Worthless.
get a
Yeah,
better
Tori
life.
is big
Get a better
bucks.
life, George.
I know.
Um,
Okay.
And additionally, at the end of last episode, we were on the... I want to say Whitlock, but Tori is Tori Whitlock. Cecilia is
Correct.
Grayson.
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 We were on the Grayson farm as night was descending, and pacing out by the fence, there were two glowy red eyes in the night. So, with that in mind, how about we do a classic intro? So, we are going to be, again, at the Grayson farm. However, this time, it is coming up to morning, and Cecilia, you have recently woken up, done your early morning day exercises, you've done your daily affirmations in front of the mirror.
Wait, can we hear them?
Shade, I'm so happy you remembered that.
Of course I remembered that.
What are your
What-
affirmations?
What's your, yeah, let's go. Affirm,
Yeah.
affirm
Oh.
for us.
Okay, so what are my affirmations today?
I'm excited.
You're still a gorgeous intellectual being. You're not going crazy. You did not go into an animal last night. people are not disappearing in this town. Everything is totally as it should be. The universe is working its way and it's working for you. So go get him today, Tiger.
Some of those
Um,
didn't seem affirmative, but you know, I'll give it to
yeah. And you're hungry like the wolf.
you.
Some of these things seem affirmative and some seem delusional.
Go eat your brekkie.
Yeah.
So some of them seem like they're coming from the place of denial, which I believe is in
A little bit.
in Iowa.
You deserve it, champ.
Denial, Iowa, right? That's where that is.
Denial, Iowa.
Good lord. No one's been to Iowa. We don't know.
Even people in
People there.
Even people in denial, Iowa don't know they're there.
Iowa's just a psyop, okay?
Mm.
Doesn't exist.
So Cecilia, you have breakfast, you know, everything like that. You've got some time before you have to be in school. It's a farm. Everyone's up early. Both your dad and your mum have both gotten up and started their day. From what you remember, your mum was heading out early, so she's already left. Your dad is...
Shit, before me?
Yeah.
I gotta do better next time.
Oh.
Dear. But when you head out the back, out into the backyard, into the garden, etc., the first thing you notice is a certain quiet tension. The majority of there's no kind of like I was gonna say cuckoos, that's not right. There's no roosters like roostering. There's, you know, just the animals in the farm are quiet, are kind of nervous, and you actually see you're not sure. Probably the reason your dad didn't notice it and hasn't said anything about it is that it was darker, like the sun's starting to come up. It's a little bit lighter. It's still kind of like that, like kind of grey, sun still rising. You notice there is a hole in the fence.
All right. How big is the hole?
It looks like it looks a few meters apart. Like easily you could fit a couple of horses through there.
Holy
a couple
shit.
of like a couple of cows even maybe.
Shit. Like big enough for people to fit through?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So like panels of the fence are missing.
No, like the fence is actually like ripped open.
Oh shit.
Shit. I don't exactly know what my dad is doing at this point, which is why I will panic
Mm-hmm.
and run to like the place where we keep the chickens and the animals and stuff, because if more animals have gone missing, then I will need to maybe really explain to Dad that it's not my friends doing it,
Yes.
because I promised that they wouldn't do it again.
So as you're out looking out the back towards the backyard and towards the farm and the fields and everything, the chickens are on the left, the horses on the right, and then further out into the fields are cows and etc.
At this point, chickens went missing last
Chickens
time.
did go missing last time. You head on over to the chickens. No one's there yet. They're kind of very quietly like clucking. If I need to translate that.
Nope, I love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Do I understand them?
Oh.
No.
You're clucked.
The same kind of tense feeling is there. But
Alright.
it doesn't seem like that feeling you've been having is particularly. And again, you know, it's not necessarily that you get a direction, but it stays pretty much the same. The chicken coop itself, the big area with the fence and everything, is untouched. You go all the way around it, just checking and making sure something didn't
I
bark.
count them again.
Yeah, they're all there.
I feel like a chicken would be like a moose boosh for something that size.
All right. So there's a big hole in our fence, and no chickens are missing.
Yeah.
But why is there a big hole in our fence then? And where is my dad, and why hasn't he noticed anything? Shit. I guess I'll start looking around a bit. Hopefully, to find a dad. And if not, I will, like, when I'm leaving the chicken den,
Yeah.
I'll just grab something to hold so I'm armed, because I don't know if this like happened right now or if it happened during the night. Like, probably during the night, but still, so I just grab the nearest like shovel and I start walking around trying to find Dad and inform him that there's a hole in the fence.
Sure. So you go kind of around. I'm guessing you're not going to the hole in the fence, right? Because that's not too far away, but
at this moment, I really first want to look around.
Okay. In that case, do the chickens and then the kind of backyard, but not towards the fence. And then over next would be the horses, which is a quick quick jog over to the kind of right side of the house when you're looking out the back. Anyway, when you get to the horses, you feel a higher intensity of nervousness and kind of like jittery panic. And possibly the reason for that is because there is, going away from the stables where all the horses are kept in, one of the doors are open. There are some small like little patches of something dark on the stone, and then a kind of like trench almost where something has been dragged through the grass and through the mud that is leading away towards the fence.
The moment I start feeling like a bit more on edge and a bit more jittery, I like grip the shovel a bit tighter, because I'm like fully, the moment where you like haven't entered the building yet, but you have to round the corner and you feel that and you're like, something's gonna be behind this corner. And I feel like as I like turn in to go like towards the stables, I even like hold my shovel in front of me, like I do a slap, as if someone were to be standing there, like it would be right in the face, So I like turn the corner, do that, and then
Preemptive
it's like
slap.
no one's there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. Oh, and the moment I look a bit closer down at the puddle, what is it, Shoopy?
It is not quite dry blood. Pretty recognizable even in this low light.
I turn around immediately, look away from it, and like make a little retching noise, like oh god, oh god, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Most likely your dad is out in one of the fields. Some of your fields, depending which one he went to today, you don't know. Some of them are a good like 10-minute walk away. Just FYI.
Gosh. No one else is around, and this just happened, and something and I like turn around to look, and I'm like immediately look away. I'm like, something fucking hurts. All right, shit. How?
Sissy cussed.
Oh, shit.
Oh, she's stressed. Yeah.
I don't have time. If I need to go and look for that, I will be gone like half an hour max. But I don't have that time because I need to go to school and. All right. I don't look back at the trail because I don't like to look at that specific fluid. And I take my shovel and I like very tentatively, you like bend down a bit in the knees and you like walk like that slowly towards the fence.
Okay.
Pray to God, indeed, that it's not my fucking father who just got murdered.
Okay. As you get to the fence, that feeling of like nervous skittishness, like subdued panic, where you're kind of ready to like bolt at the first kind of shock, slowly gives way to a slightly more excited feeling of like a mix of satisfaction and like excitement, where like you're on the hunt, you're looking into something, you're on the trail of something, to like where you're gonna get like a reward or something. And when you get to the fence, you notice it's kind of like torn open, kind of out towards the woods on the edge of your property, and it kind of like the fence itself, like the mesh is kind of like ripped apart and pointing out towards the towards the forest. There's again a little bit of kind of like drag marks and everything, and possibly even like a little bit of blood on the side of the fence, but nothing kind of gloopy, but yeah, like a smear.
As I see that it was something that broke out instead of like in.
Yeah.
I steady myself and I like take a breath in, kind of like muttering, like not just, yeah, I guess aloud because no one is around, kind of muttering to myself like, okay, you have got this, you know how to take a person down.
It's affirmation time.
It's probably just another student taking a silly prank because I live on a farm or whatever. But they will pay for taking down a horse because mom is gonna be ruinous. And I go through the fence, making sure that I don't touch the icky blood on the sides of the fence, and I shy my eyes away from it as I pass through. I'm like, yes, I can do this.
As you walk, your feet make your steps make a very soft kind of crunch. Like it's early in the morning. There's a little bit of like frost on the not like nothing big, just the grass itself is quite frosty and etc. And you walk, I'm guessing you just walk in the direction of the drag, as it were.
Yes, I walk in that direction.
Okay. As you come over a little lip in the grass and on the ground, you kind of get a better look at the forest, which starts kind of in front of you. You actually see like a little bit of kind of like for a second you're like, is that smoke? And it's actually like a little bit of steam coming off at the very edge where the vegetation starts to get a bit thicker and the trees like really hold in that darkness that hasn't quite dissipated from the sun coming up. You see the body of a horse that is just laying there, and like very small amount of steam is coming off it.
Oh god. Oh god.
It's reasonably messy.
I'm assuming there's also a smell, so like
yeah, I weirdly enough, the smell is a little bit you work on a farm, so you've occasionally found dead animals around the place, like which have been there for a while. It smells like a rotting cadaver, like just kind of just like a kind of like generally pervasive in the air.
oh god. I think most people would maybe vomit as they see this. I think Cecilia just manages to keep it in because she has seen this before, but she still doesn't take kindly to it. Especially because it's so it's a cadaver, but there are probably wounds because of the blood.
Yeah, there's kind of like gash marks and seems like partial consumption. And what I will say is, as you are kind of like gathering yourself, the horse itself like skips. No, it doesn't get up or anything. It just gets dragged very quickly into the forest, where it's like, and it just
Holy
kind
shit.
of goes into the forest, and there's like a very soft pause of nothing for like 2 or 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds.
Who's out there? I have a shovel and I am skilled in judo and I will take you down.
You see very faintly in the darkness a set of red, like vibrant red eyes just at the edge of the forest, and you hear a very low
Okay.
as this creature starts to step out of the forest. You see it is quite thin but quite large, almost like sinewy or bony, with like a kind of leathery, scaly covering over its legs, over its face. Its features look fairly kind of the face looks fairly dog-like in a way, but the skin and some of the spikes on its back, and it looks lizard-like as well. So kind of like a mix of lizard and dog. And it's slowly, like, its hackles are up, and it's got that kind of like tense, like, you know, kind of on the prowl, on the hunt kind of look to it as it slowly like steps forward towards you.
Let's be completely honest here for a second, just between friends, you know?
Yeah.
I think even someone who has experienced a lot of animals before and seen a lot of shit,
Yeah.
this is
Terrifying.
I would say the closest thing you've possibly ever seen before would be in a nature book, like a picture of like a Komodo dragon, or like it kind of looks like a mixture of Komodo dragon and like coyote or hyena or something.
I want one.
yeah, all right. So, despite all of Cecilia's bravery, I think she stands there with her shovel, takes a big gulp, and kind of just like takes a few steps back, like almost stumbling across the ground, being like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah,
What
and
are you?
as you make that move, the creature jerks into motion and starts to run full pelt towards you. And as the camera is looking from kind of just in front of you, and the creature itself jumps at you, its jaws open and kind of like consumes the camera, we cut. And we are going to cut to a little earlier, the day before, in fact, because we have a little bit more to explore with one of our people here. So, Tori,
Yes.
after school, you've been saved by Mr. Ashford. You've been extorted into essentially agreeing to help him, and I'm assuming, seeing as you're a little bit delayed, you'll want to head home.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Have to get home. The expected result here is that I get home and my siblings are already there, and I should have been there already.
Most
I mean,
likely.
like, being delayed means just hoping they don't mention it to Dad.
And as you drive home perfectly fine, not much amiss with that. You park up in the kind of like at the front of the house after. I imagine you have gates, you know, like you
Absolutely.
got a set of
We
those
mentioned
gates
it. We mentioned it before.
yeah.
It's like a really, it's a ridiculous house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's big gates, driveway. You know.
What was the wonderful thing you said about it? It says
It's as large as the parent. It's
That's
as
large
large as the parents are absent.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Ugh.
However, for today, you actually see your dad's car in the
Oh.
driveway,
Fuck.
which means that for whatever reason he has come home early from work.
Okay. All right. So like, you know, getting out of the car and getting everything together, grabbing my bag and so forth, head to the front door and, you know, open it because I don't need to unlock it because presumably he's home.
Yeah,
you know?
it's front door's open. Walk in.
And once I'm inside, I'm like, Dad, are you here?
Yeah, I'm actually in the sitting room with a gentleman. Come on in and say hello.
And you know, kick off shoes. Questionable. Like I've met lots of crazy gentlemen today. Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see which one this is.
He also says Sam and Renee came back. Don't worry, I sent them up to their rooms.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, everything's fine.
This is just like calling from, you know, like through the house.
And you
echo.
like, yeah, this is like shouting. You can hear a little bit of murmuring in between, between your dad and whoever he's talking to.
All right. So she sets her stuff down like at the bottom of the stairs, because you know, take your bag up to your room after, and then goes to see like who's in the living room with her dad.
Okay. As you walk in, you see kind of leant over a selection of kind of, it almost looks like one of those big makeup chests, you know? And it's kind of like opened with different sections, and they all have these bottles and tinctures and like weird looking kind of like writing on them and everything. There is a man in a suit with a very pale grey pallor to his face, and he appears to be saying to your dad, so as you can see, the whole thing is quite expensive, but if you have the preventatives you'd like to buy on a one-off basis, they're a lot cheaper. And your dad is standing there kind of like not super impressed.
I mean, he's a fucking surgeon.
He's
like,
a surgeon.
When it comes to like bullshit medicine, right? Like these are the exact kind of people who won't buy that shit.
Yeah. And as you come in, he stands up and turns around, and you see Bertrand Gray.
Of course.
I knew it.
Fucker.
And he says, "This must be your daughter. It's a pleasure to meet you."
And Tori's like tries to maintain composure, right? Because you don't want to like let out that you know like what went down necessarily. And she says, you too, whoever you are. What are you trying to sell?
Bertrand Gray. I sell tinctures, preventatives, and curatives. And also boosters and the like.
She looks to her dad like, are you really like, why is this guy in here? You know, like, why did you let him in? You know, like the look of like, you would never.
And yeah, your dad kind of looks at you while Bertrand has his back to him, and he's got this kind of like, I'm not really sure. Like, yeah, he's a little uncertain, a little kind of like, I'm not sure how this guy persuaded himself in here type. But he's not like super on guard with this guy either.
Yeah, for sure. Why don't you let me handle this whole whatever this is that this guy's doing. You don't need to waste time with this.
Oh, of course. No, yeah. You're
He's
more
like, her dad is out of it because he would not be
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah, he's like, my daughter actually would probably be more interested in this type of thing than me. So I'll leave you to talk to her, see if there's anything and I'll just, I have to dinner food, for the kids. So I'm going to, he seems off, like, wrong-footed.
He is like absolutely not this kind of dude,
No.
right? Like he is like an iron personality usually.
Yeah.
So that's very weird. Okay.
And so he steps out, and you hear the door close behind
leaving
him.
Bertrand and Tori in the living room. Yeah.
Bertrand crosses his arms and says, should I sit down?
I hope we're not gonna be here long. And she like moves to sit down herself. You know, like power move. You sit down, feel comfortable. And she says, "What the fuck are you doing here? I thought I told you to go away."
You did, but I didn't. How's
What
your
do you
throat?
want? She like, you know, the unconscious like. Ugh.
You should be very, very careful about accepting things from people.
Well, you can pack up this whole medicine thing you've got going on.
You don't want to buy
Whatever it is.
anything?
You just... I
This,
don't like to accept things from people.
This lovely bottle right here can help prevent curses. Very useful for people who have a tendency
Why should I trust anything that you tell me?
Oh, you shouldn't. This doesn't actually help prevent curses. And he puts it back. All of this is fake and does nothing to help anything, really. Although, you know.
So, here's my question.
Yes.
You're not the only asshole to approach me today.
Interesting.
What
Am I the
fuck is
worst, at
with-
least?
You're the slimiest.
Good.
But what the hell is with all of this happening all of a sudden? All these people showing up.
Well, I got into town a couple of 2 days ago, in the evening. I smelt salt on the air and thought I could maybe make use of the situation. Although, seems that this place is a lot more active than I thought before.
I didn't think your only negotiating tactic would be to kill me after I said no.
In my defense, I did not make you use your ability. You did that yourself.
She like frowns a little and says, "Still, if asshole number 2 had not intervened, we wouldn't be having this conversation."
It's just a little restriction, basically. You probably wouldn't have died.
Right. Well, I don't like you.
I hear that a surprising amount, actually.
But you know what I also don't like? Being
Asshole.
extorted.
Oh,
And that's what asshole number 2 decided to do. So,
you're being extorted?
yeah. Money.
How
A lot
much?
simpler than what you were talking about. A couple million.
Go on.
Let's say I was interested in listening to what you had to say in this bidding war that seems to exist. You go on. I'll wait.
Well, first I would have to know who's got their claws into you. Are we talking... a hunter? Are we talking...
Do you expect me to fucking know the difference? This is new to me.
What do they look like?
Sunglasses.
Sunglasses. Suits.
Grim accent. Like...
I currently don't have an offer for you that would be worth it for either of us. I would need time to prepare to deal with who I suspect that person is.
Yeah, and Tori could tell him outright, but she just doesn't, right? Like...
Yeah.
Okay. So you need time. I have time, I suppose, though I have to meet with this asshole tomorrow morning.
Well, you should meet with the asshole tomorrow morning.
That's the plan.
Let's say... give me... a week and a half and $25,000. And I'll get you out of your current situation.
I don't just have $25,000 lying around, but you said that you wanted my help with something. What if I help you instead?
We'll find ourselves $25,000 then.
Sure.
Alright. Now, as I was saying, and he opens back up the box and is like, now this tincture here is very useful to prevent warts. And we'll fade on that situation as he keeps going. And I imagine Tori's like, oh god, what the hell?
I do think Tori would say, like, just as an aside, like, if I'm giving you time, then I don't know what's going to happen in the meantime. And you seem like a capable person in terms of you almost killed me. So what are you going to do to protect your investment?
Do you still have my card?
No, I threw it away. It tried to kill me.
And he goes into his pocket and pulls out a card.
I'm not falling for that shit again.
It is cursed. But it is just cursed so that if there is an opportunity for me to help you, essentially to extort you, you'll find your way to me. It's essentially a bad luck talisman.
Bad luck doesn't sound like what I'm looking for.
Invariably, bad luck means meeting me.
You're not really selling yourself here.
I don't think at any point I've tried to sell myself. I in fact tried to buy your services, if you remember. I said nothing of my virtues.
Fine, whatever. She takes the card.
I wonder if anyone else took a card like that.
And then we can, go back
Yeah,
into the...
yeah.
Yeah.
And essentially, he starts talking about that as your dad comes back in. He seems a little bit more together and you know, a little less kind of discombobulated.
Pretty soon after that, it's the please get out of my house. I'm sure.
Yeah. He's essentially like, well, it's been nice to have you. I do appreciate that, you know, you're trying to... but I'm a doctor, and I know about these things. We're not interested. So sorry, please do leave. And seeing as he's got what he wanted, Bertrand very happily walks out.
I definitely think there's a little bit of a conversation with her dad after that's like, are you okay? Is everything fine?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. And he basically informs Tori that a couple of his patients died unexpectedly before surgery, and they were both due to be operated on today. So he just says, you know,
that's why he's home early.
Yeah.
And dour.
essentially doesn't have any work to do. Which could possibly be the reason why he was a little out of sorts. Although you suspect maybe he also took a card from Bertrand Gray, which may have had a bit of effect of it on him.
She definitely checks his pockets when he takes his coat off or whatever, and like gets rid of it if it is there.
Yeah, there's a card in his pocket, so
Yeah.
and you can get rid of that.
Cool.
Okay. So, we are going to go forward in time a little bit again, back to a little bit of where we were, a little bit later in the morning. Essentially, all three of you, apologies, Cecilia, I didn't mean to include you in that, have to turn up before class for a meeting. So, you'll get into school. You'll turn into school, and you file into Mr. Ashford's class as asked. And there's probably about 5 minutes where you're sitting there. You know what? This is worth playing out. I would imagine William would probably be first.
Very likely. If Will is first, he'll just sit down.
Most likely, I think George would probably trundle in next.
Yeah, she'd stumble in, just kind of, that half awake, like.
Usually, I would say that George would be last. However, given her interaction with Mr. Ashford, I feel like she wouldn't want to be late at the same time.
Nope. Definitely is a little terrified of the dude. And I think, after the events of yesterday/last week, she had the night to stew on it and is like, what the big actual fuck?
Yeah, so possibly because William hasn't really seen anything yet.
No.
And George obviously explained things to him. I don't know how much he believes.
Yeah, we had that. So for people that, if you remember last week, William and I's scene ended with us grabbing as much food as possible because I was just basically raiding the kitchen because the kitchen lady is dead now. And lady, I don't know what to call that person anymore. I'm so sorry. And so we gathered up all the food, huh? Menangangal. Yep.
Okay, sorry. Kitchen Menangangal.
Yeah.
Yes, the kitchen Menangangal is no more. So we stole as much food as possible. We forgot about Joel, I think, from the heat of the moment and everything. And literally, I just started walking down the road, expecting William to follow me with food. And I started explaining everything that happened because William was under anesthesia.
To be fair, I think Joel's pretty forgetful.
Yeah, he can be.
I'm sure he's fine. He was literally probably asleep against the
he's
school when I
fine.
showed up this morning. Yeah, he's
You haven't seen him yet,
Trooper.
but
Okay.
he's not turning up school early, man.
No.
But as George walks in, I assume William gives a little bit of a oh hey and go from there.
I'd probably just fall into the desk next to him and just kind of lay my head on it and look over at him like, why? And then I'd probably actually is Ashford's in there right though, right?
No, not yet.
He's not there yet?
Not yet.
I'd probably half asleep be like, so yesterday happened, right?
I think so. Unless we've had very strange dreams, to both of us.
We're in trouble.
I guess magic's a thing?
As George says, we're in trouble, Tori rocks into the classroom.
So Tori looks a little bit less put together than usual because this is earlier than usual.
Yeah.
And it's just a lack of makeup, basically.
I like the idea of we're in trouble and here comes trouble.
Yeah, I know.
She pauses at the door when she sees both of you also sitting in here. What the? There's a silent what the fuck, you know.
Yeah.
I would assume though, Tori probably does before school swimming and stuff like that. So hers flying in without makeup and stuff at the top of the morning probably wouldn't be too weird.
No, it's not. It's not that weird.
Yeah, okay.
I
Slight
suspect
smell of
that-
chlorine.
I don't
because
know
she
like
does-
how perfect she is about that
she,
stuff.
She does a thing that you've seen her do before, which is when she sits down, she takes out a little mirror and like her.
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and like starts kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah.
I
opening
imagine
more
she's the
glass.
type of girl that barely needs the mirror. She can probably
Barely.
apply shit by
She
feel. at this
absolutely,
point.
yeah, absolutely, like
Yeah.
fucking knows it. Yeah.
F those hoes. I'd probably just be like, I'm so tired. I don't know if I could really like emote, but in
Yeah.
my mind, I'm like, this isn't right. We're definitely in danger.
She definitely doesn't say anything to either of you because she doesn't want to give away why she's here necessarily if
Yeah.
it's not the same reason as you.
Man, I'm really starting to feel like this is a trap.
And there is there's maybe like a minute or two until you hear footsteps from outside. Two of them, two sets
I love
of
to
footsteps.
imagine. I love to imagine that was completely in silence.
Mm.
Those like last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just complete.
it's
yeah.
almost like
The
an
tick.
it's almost like an early morning detention where everyone has no energy and they're just like, we could talk or mess around,
It's-
like, but no.
It's just the sounds of like makeup case opening,
Yeah.
closing, like,
Yeah. The little lids.
like like zipper, you know what I mean,
Yep.
like noise, yeah, this kind of stuff in the silence.
And then the
Squeaky chair.
yeah. And then the door opens as Mr. Ashford strides in with someone behind him.
Oh.
I think Tori, you recognize her. I'm not so sure how much George and William would, but it's Cecilia.
Oh.
And he turns to you all and says, "You all made it. Good. Cecilia, take a seat."
Tori gives you the sidest of side eyes.
Oh. I probably just like slug up from the desk and sit up straight.
George is like waking up.
Yeah.
I like the
A little bit
idea
of a
of
drool crust.
I like the idea of Alfred talking and Will's like jabbing the elbow at George like,
Yeah.
hey, we're on.
Wake up.
I imagine Cecilia would go and sit down, but like she would not look at Tori.
Mm.
And she would just sit down and like her hands would like clasp together and she would nervously like turn her fingers.
So, welcome everyone. We are, well, the three of you obviously joined me yesterday. Cecilia, actually, I ran into her this morning. Our only volunteer.
Volunteer.
I'd be careful of that one. She ripped a chupacabra in half by herself.
And I'll probably kind of look back at Cecilia and think like, drug dealer. Sick.
Doesn't know what a chupacabra is.
No, that's a strain of weed. That's all I know. And I'll be like, this is detention. That's badass.
Yeah, Will has no idea what a chupacabra is because they don't exist in Britain, and there's no folklore about it.
Yeah,
in
it's not
Britain.
really. It's a
Mexican
South
thing.
American folklore,
Yeah.
isn't it?
South American thing.
Yeah, Latin, South American.
And then he goes over to the door, swings it closed.
I love how he said that with the door open.
Oh yeah, for sure. Then walks back to the to his desk, sits down, puts his feet up on the desk, and says, "So, welcome to the first official meeting of the Paranormal Investigation Group."
Will.
No, that was all me. That was all me.
I think.
Oh my
Tori...
god, we're pigs. Oh,
Oh no,
paranormal
Pig.
investigating groups.
the pig. Tori rolls her eyes. Epic eye roll.
So,
I just keep looking straight ahead because I really don't know if this guy's for real or not, but he
Yeah,
scares
like
the shit
what
out
is
of me.
what is shit is?
Yeah.
I mean, like we have all seen him do shit that is like
Yeah.
unexplainable, right?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah. Well, to be fair, William has seen him do one thing that was unexplainable. He was passed out for most
That's
of the
still a
interaction.
lot of
yeah,
things.
that was enough to make him run and get
Yeah.
bound and...
Yep, that's
Yeah.
fair.
So, kids, I imagine first up you probably have some questions. Open floor, not too open. If you talk too much, I'll make you shut up. Yes, little man.
Are we getting credit for any of this?
No. Next question.
How come we didn't know all of that existed?
Did
You
you
see
look?
the good ones.
Yeah, I look around every day.
Did you see?
I see lots of things. How come I
often-
didn't see those things before?
How often, Miss Cecilia, did you see something and say, there's no way that exists? It's me imagining I've just woken up.
Lots of things kill animals on the farm. That's nothing new. That is. How come that hasn't happened before?
Maybe it has. Missing hens, missing sheep, missing cows. You think, oh, it's a fox, it's a wolf, it's a bear. Is it though? Do you always find them?
Cecilia, like, kind of, puts her hands around herself as if, like, comforting herself at the thought of those things having been around all along.
Tori raises her hand.
Yeah. Small go.
Why all of us?
Good question. So, congratulations. All of you have been taken over, inherited, or been possessed by the supernatural. Good for you, team.
Tori
Will
wrinkles-
looks around
Tori
and-
wrinkles her nose like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Will looks around and in a look that kind of says, "I don't see any like fangs or wings or anyone. I'm not sure I follow."
Okay, this has to be a very elaborate joke.
Right.
Are you doing this to get back to any of us for not paying attention in class or
Wait,
whatnot?
you weren't paying attention in class?
I mean, we can't really. You're a bad teacher, you know. You can't really do. But this is going too far, really, right?
When Cecilia says she's a bad teacher, William doesn't say anything. He just goes.
I thought William liked Mr. Ashford. Well,
Oh, no,
I
he
guess-
does, but
I guess
it's
up
just like
until
the-
the the
Difference of opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
He just goes. I've had worse.
he's thinking about Mr. Knight.
Oh yeah, no, Mr. Knight is absolute rubbish. That's league
And
of his own.
he points at George and says, George, yeah,
Can I give it back?
what's that?
The
Oh,
thing,
the right.
whatever you called it just now.
We could work towards getting rid of it if you like, but it'll take some time. And you've still got a debt to pay off. Do you want to get rid of it before then?
No.
Okay. So, yes, but no.
So there's not like easy returns.
I mean,
I feel like all I did was eat some food. And now I'm like getting up at an ungodly hour.
how much food do you eat?
Some. She'll look at Will like, shut your mouth.
Didn't maybe think it was worth stopping. Maybe it was bizarre that you were eating what I would call an ungodly amount of food.
It was free.
Nothing's free.
Wait, hold up. You ate too much food and
Tori,
and you're saying that she got possessed because she ate too much food?
She inherited.
That's the word.
Will just goes, looks at Cecilia and goes.
And George is sitting there like, you know how some kids like absentmindedly chew on the end of a pen? She's already halfway through the pen. Just
and
at this point,
You know what?
completely non-realizing, just kind of like, okay.
Yeah. Seeing as you all have questions, I should probably remember all of your names, as we're probably going to be working together for a while. So, smart girl. Tori, right? Victoria?
That's right. But before we say anything else,
Right.
whatever happens in here, we should keep it in here. She says, looking at everybody like, don't fuck this up for me.
That would be for the best. I have already told George and Cecilia not to say anything. As what would you
Anybody
say?
else you say anything like this to is gonna think you're insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, little man. What's your name?
William.
William. What you?
Will is kind of like not distrusting, but he's not fully accepted the fact that this is real yet. So so I think he has more a playful attitude so far,
Yeah.
and it just goes, "Ooh, can we have code names?"
You are all very quick and accepting all of this, might I add.
They went.
Do you have
through-
millions of dollars to pay him? Because I don't.
No, I don't.
So where's the other option?
Why do you need to pay him $1 million?
Saved
So,
us a
million
little.
two, actually.
Yeah, that.
You
The lunch lady was not the lunch lady.
She
Mrs.
was a very
Peaches
bad
was
woman.
rotten. And George will probably start to kind of like cold sweat,
yeah.
just like viscerally remembering this creature, splitting in half and licking her to death or whatever it was trying to do with its limbs.
As to your question, little man, would you prefer little man or William? I'm happy with either.
William's better.
William it is. So, congratulations, you all survived an encounter with the supernatural. How'd you feel?
Tired.
Did I?
William's like, did I survive one? What?
You were close to being eaten, I would assume.
I mean, Tori's encounter with the supernatural was you and Bertrand. So.
He is counting that.
How did you just happen to be there?
In the school, I'm a teacher.
No. But like, it was after school in the kitchen.
and
Yeah.
it was outside of school as well.
Right.
It's almost like maybe you put us in danger to then put us in debt or something. Will, back me up.
It very much does sound like that, and even though I'm not indebted to you millions of dollars, I don't think it's right that these others are indebted to you for millions of dollars.
It's apparently what our life is worth. Tori's a spendy one. Tell him how much you cost, Tori.
She looks at you like, what the fuck? Like, no, I will
George
not.
is bitter because she's been mentioned as the cheap one multiple times. Or the less valuable one. So she's like,
Oh,
All right, kids. Here's a
F you.
question. Are any of you upset that I saved your life?
it's a weird question this early in the morning.
Answer. Are you upset that I saved your life?
No.
Depends
Right.
if you actually did or not.
Well, I did. I turned up. You were dying, about to die. I stopped it. Hard to argue with that, I would imagine. Although, you're welcome to try.
Hard to argue with not knowing what would have happened if I just let it go. But yeah, not upset. I'm still alive, certainly. Upset that I'm being blackmailed into being here.
Extorted. Blackmail's an ugly word.
Yeah. Well, either way.
She's gonna look. Well, was extorted.
It's like forced to do something.
Oh, yeah.
Forced into.
Now, if you think about it, it is impossible for me to save your lives before your lives are in danger.
You're not helping your case.
I'm sorry, Cecilia. What do you expect me to do? Should I save their lives before their lives are in danger?
You should
You
say
did-
whether or not you put them in danger.
Tori looks over at Cecilia like, you're just here because you want to be here, right?
Well, yes, I am, but I just heard that you guys are indebted to him for millions of dollars just because he saved your asses while he may have put your asses in danger.
All correct. Completely an accurate summary.
I didn't put your lives in danger. All of those situations had absolutely nothing to do with me.
Why are we here?
Good question. Moving on.
It's the whole, like, we could talk about this for hours, but, like, he's here, we're here, let's fucking...
Yeah.
So, as part of... And he looks at William for a second. Pig, you will...
There's
all-
a slight smile on Will's lips. It just goes.
You will all be doing jobs for me. We have to maintain a balance. And right now, Quail Town is very precarious indeed. So,
What's this balance?
balance is all around you.
Yeah, I mean more, like, particularly, because I'm getting really sick and tired of the, like, cryptic bullshit.
Basically, Cecilia turns to Tori and goes like, basically, there's lots of supernatural things going on, and apparently when they go apeshit and they, like the monster that attacked my farm, when they do those things, or like your lunch lady, when she turned into that monster and tried to eat you, apparently when that happens, things are out of balance, and he wants to restore balance. He doesn't want to make it disappear, but he wants to bring things
Reset.
back to normal.
Things.
And like talking to Cecilia and not to Mr. Ashford. So what he said earlier about us having been involved in that, aren't we part of the problem?
Not if... The way I understood it, the way we are sitting here right now is in balance. If you were to flip out or lose yourself to whatever is in you, on you, with you, if you were to lose yourself to it, then you would be out of balance. It would be the problem, but up until we are right now not the problem, so we can help.
Right.
Thank you, Cecilia. George.
So like, so you let Miss Peaches just chill as a Bengal until she ate someone, and then that was no balance.
I've been extremely busy. I can't be everywhere at once, George.
I ain't bitching. I'm saying like, she was chill until she killed someone, and then you were like, not today, Miss Peaches, because that was no longer a balance. I'm just trying to understand the balance. Like, can I eat someone or not?
I wasn't aware.
Tori looks at you like, what the fuck? Are you planning to eat someone?
I wasn't aware.
Cecilia shuffles away with the chair a little bit.
So, I was not aware that there was a problem in the school until one of the students went missing. And I wasn't even sure until I followed the trail and found you both almost being eaten.
So like, are there just some things that are not good? Like, would you have taken out Mungundal no matter what?
I would have started by trying to persuade her to move on. Had a bit of a negotiation. As you might have seen, I have a certain weight in negotiation.
Yeah.
Yeah, William.
What happened to the counselor?
I don't know.
It was Was it Mr. Knight who came out?
It was Ashford.
Or was it? It was Ashford. Okay. Because Will probably goes, but I saw him, and then you saw him, and then. So that wasn't anything to do with this?
It was. I found out that he had regular meetings with your boy Casey. Talking about his adoption and the problems he suffered from that. I didn't know that, and I thought possibly that the counselor had something to do with it.
But he didn't.
As far as I can tell, no.
Okay.
So, seeing as school is going to be starting soon, would you all like to hear about your first assignment? William.
So, George can eat things. You said you wanted to eat a person, George.
Anybody can eat things.
You
Yeah,
were
but-
holding a pen in your hand, like
Yeah, it's just a
minute
nib.
ago.
It's just a nib left.
Yeah.
What?
William
Will you
goes.
steal my pen? She'll like punch him in the shoulder and steal his pen off his desk.
And William goes, and I've seen that,
Yeah.
and then he points to Ashford and goes, and you can do magic, sort
Sure,
of.
I can do magic.
What do I have?
You
What
have-
are you?
Who are you talking to there?
No, he
You.
points. Will points at himself and
Yeah.
goes, "What do I have?"
Oh,
What do I... Oh. You, my dear lad, have the devil's eye inside you. And he points at his right eye, kind of tapping behind his glasses. Right there.
Here.
Yeah.
in his
Will kind of
eyeball?
Will pokes his eye a little bit and see if anything happens.
Nothing happens.
Okay. That doesn't sound good.
It's not that bad. Could be worse. And then he glances at Tori.
No.
Tori like gives him a side eye, like, what do you mean worse?
The devil's eye is useful in a lot of ways. Helps you pierce through some of the deception around you. Very helpful when you want to go on the hunt for something hidden. What you have, young lady, is temptation incarnate.
Will looks over at Tora like, what?
I can tell you to do something and you have to do it. She says.
Like anybody?
Compulsion. It depends. The power is still quite weak, so weak-minded people, sure.
Cecilia is like
So
thinking-
everybody.
Cecilia is thinking to herself, not saying this, but like, wait, this is nothing supernatural for her, right? Like she could do that before. Like
Dude, I was just thinking this. I'm not shitting you. Oh, get out of my head, Stacey. I was literally like, she could already do that. You just pulled that out of my brain. That was beautiful.
When Ashford goes like compulsion and I can make you do things. William just closes
Copying William's homework.
yeah. Will just closes his left eye and goes.
I'm not joking. Like everybody's kind of like acting
Yeah.
unserious.
Yeah, Will is not taking this seriously at
And
all.
Tori is definitely the person who knows she has a supernatural power the most, I think, of like
Yeah.
Oh,
everybody
absolutely.
present.
I'd say
I don't think
George
any one
is-
of us has seen each other do anything other than Will saw me eat a lot.
Yeah.
Now you didn't wake Will up. Will didn't see me get chug the bleach though, right?
Nope.
I don't think they were awake yet.
No.
Cool. Yeah. But other than that, we have not seen. This could be like a psychological fuck test. We have no idea.
I mean, I think Tori sees like the general disbelief that's going on in the room. all of this is very real to her right now. Like
Mhm.
this is like a thing that she, I think, believes more. Like Cecilia seems to be the only one taking it as seriously.
I
You
think
know?
Cecilia
I kinda wanna,
probably
like-
has her doubts about the reality. She's taking it more seriously though.
I kind of want to turn around to Tori and like not in a mean like poking way, but be like, prove it.
And Tori just goes, stand on your desk. Like,
And I fucking like leap up on the top of my desk.
A kind of green shimmer fires in Tori's eyes, and I would say all of you to a certain degree can smell like a fairly crisp, like saltiness to the air. And immediately George, like blank-eyed, no questions, steps onto the chair, steps on top of the desk, and stands there. And George, you suddenly find yourself like you're on top of your desk.
and I think Tori just gives you a shrug, like, told you.
I'd
And
probably look at her and be like,
for
prove it.
yeah, like for the record, you retain no memory of.
I
being
assumed
told.
that.
Yeah, no, it's.
Wait, so for George, it's a blink and suddenly on the
Yeah.
desk?
Yeah,
I'm just on my desk.
just on the
I would
desk.
love to imagine that George would have done it either way.
Yeah, even if it didn't work.
Possibly.
Just make sure Tori doesn't feel bad. Like, okay, I'll stand on the desk.
I think George is more like, this is the coolest like thing ever. She wants to see something, you know, but because it's happening to her
Yeah.
and she can't remember it, it's kind of like the whole class, like everybody else can
She-
see it
she's-
happening except
She's
her.
sort of like when you're like a little disoriented at the end of it. She's like, you know, like you're
Yeah.
standing on the desk, like what
I'd
more
probably be
proof?
like, so prove it, and then notice I could see my feet.
Yeah, yeah, you're standing on the desk.
Oh shit, that's dope. I don't remember a thing. What the fuck? Get back down in my
So-
seat, like,
And
So
Tori
you see-
goes like, you don't remember? Like, cause she doesn't know that, right? Like, that's a piece of information she does not have about this power.
bitch, I had my backpack on 1 minute and then I was standing on my desk. Is that what you asked me to do?
That's what I told you to do. Yeah, I didn't ask.
Told me to do.
if I
That's
ask,
badass.
if I ask, it doesn't work,
Really
as far as I can tell.
sick. Nah.
Remember, don't say anything about this outside of, you know, like she's like,
Yeah.
do not tell anyone about this.
You'll find yourselves able to control this as time goes on.
She seems to be able to control everything. I don't see where I can help you like that.
Well, for example, if we find... And he pauses for a second. If you find yourselves in a situation of needing to dispose of something dangerous and supernatural,
Like a
you're
body.
like a body, you are an extremely useful garbage disposal.
Tori can't help but laugh at that, like that George is a garbage disposal.
Additionally, as you experienced with Miss Peach, the sum of the entities you will be dealing with are able to emit toxins, gases, things that can affect your mind, things that can affect your body. You are surprisingly resilient in anything that would affect your body.
Where does it go?
Have you tried drinking alcohol yet?
No.
Well, good luck with that.
No! As she comes to the firm realization she will never be fucked up again in her life.
Yeah.
Never ever
yeah.
high, never.
No! What?
Will points to George and goes, "You got a little ink on your."
Just-
You got a little ink in your in the side of your mouth there from eating the
repercussions.
pen.
After having a moment of freak out, she probably just face down on her desk. Just,
So she can get rid of anything. He's the devil. What about her?
He's not the devil, but
Cecilia was purposefully staying very silent.
And Tori is calling attention to such a thing.
I know.
I am not sure, but I am interested, seeing as she ripped apart a chupacabra by herself.
What's that?
Kind of like a mix of hyena and dragon. Big lizard, a carnivore. It feeds off smaller animals, hibernates and grows, until it can be the size of a small house.
Will just looks at Cecilia and goes,
Luckily, we caught it before it kind of passed large dog, small horse kind of size.
I'm gonna look back at Cecilia too. She's fairly small, right? Cecilia, I assume she's like a petite, like teenager.
I would
I mean,
say,
she does judo and
Yeah,
stuff.
I
you know
would
what
say-
I mean?
Well, I
I'd
mean,
say-
she's not like huge and
No,
tall
no,
and
no,
fucking like a
she's-
ripped beast.
She's-
that would
she's
rip
not
something
you,
in
Katie.
half, though.
she's not a Viking.
Okay, yeah, that was all I was saying. Like
Yeah,
she's a normal sized, yeah. So I would just look at her and be like,
And he also looks at Cecilia and says, "Anything weird happened to you?"
Look, I don't know. All of this is weird.
Right.
besides chupacabra.
Like, literally, I woke up, I found a trail of blood leading from a dead horse, and then that thing being there. So, excuse me for this all being very weird.
Do you
I wonder-
feel stressed at night and angry? You know, maybe grow hair and fangs or anything?
No, ew.
Okay. So you're not
Do I
werewolf.
look?
You're
That's not
a
the
werewolf.
way you talk to teenage girls.
I
Wait,
tried my best not to, aside from teaching,
I wonder...
how do you know what's up with us but not her?
because I've seen what happened to all of you. Plus, Victoria's comes with a certain, no offense, but smell.
Tori's like offended, very
Right,
offended.
the sea smell.
love that.
I wonder if I can...
I honestly, every time you say we smell it, I hear seagulls.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It's part of it.
And
then
in my
you
head
look
for
around
some
like-
reason. Yeah.
Tori has a thoughtful moment
Mm.
and then says, I wonder if I could make her tell me even if she doesn't remember.
Good
Ooh.
idea.
Okay, we're not.
Good idea. Cecilia, stay still.
No, we're not gonna do that. Thank you.
Victoria, let's see what she knows.
No, and Cecilia like stands up like with her hands on the desk and says like, enough of all of this. I am helping, and then she looks at Ashford and says like, I am here on volunteer basis. If you still want my help, then no to all of this. All right?
Tori doesn't ask you. Like there is like a moment of like I could exert this force over you like involuntarily, but because you're so against it, like very obviously, she sort of considers and then says, "Okay, we'll find out then."
Big.
Thank you.
Good. Cecilia, do you have any idea? Anything strange?
It would answer your questions as well, you know. I'd tell you, even if you don't remember.
How do I put this in a way that makes you not ask the question again? My morning has just been that I woke up, found a dead body, found a monster, dealt with it, found you, went to school, and I'm sitting here. For the last time, I do not want any more of this right now.
Alright. Well, it shouldn't be important.
You may have known that the supernatural has been around every single day for how old are you? 60? I don't know. But you have known that
36.
entire time.
36.
I found
Or
out
60.
this morning, 4 hours ago.
I think Tori, like you're Cece's clearly upset, right? Like it's like
Yeah,
very
yeah.
upset vibe, and I think Tori like sympathizes with that, right? And there's a moment of like sort of uncharacteristic softness where she's like, we're all a little fucked up about this, right? I don't really know what's happening. George doesn't really know what's happening. William doesn't really know what's happening.
Oh.
And we're all just trying to figure it out.
William's
You know?
scribbling on a piece of paper.
Yeah, and as a sidebar, you would have probably been surprised that Tori remembered your name. Just like,
Oh, yeah.
it's just like,
It's probably because
Tori makes it her business to know what everybody's name is,
Oh,
even
yeah.
if they
Oh,
don't
yeah.
think that would
even
be
if
the
she
case.
pretends that she doesn't know people's names sometimes.
and also I've been handing out homework.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Will slides a paper over to George,
So
and
like,
at the top it just says suggestions, and it says George, aka Chomp,
Chompers.
and it
So
says
He's
Will.
made us code names. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yep.
Tori keeps speaking while this
Yeah.
is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And says like, look, we can take the time, we can just like let it sink in, okay? It's a big deal, I know. We're gonna have to figure shit out together. And we're gonna have to do it in a way that doesn't disrupt any of the shit we're already doing. She's swearing a lot because she also is just like not in her like social group right now, kind of like
Okay.
guard down but also stressed.
How about I make an extra deal with all of you? Little incentive. If you agree to help me bring this town back into balance, it's too much for me to do by myself, as you may have already seen. There is a lot to do here, and the longer that I take to do all of this, the more people like your friend Casey will suffer. So, at the end of this, I will help all of you who want me to get rid of what is possessing you or what is ailing you. No extra charge.
At the mention of Casey, George pretty much shuts down. I think that still messes her up because she still doesn't really know the fate of him.
So, and he looks at Cecilia. What you are and what you can do is, for right now, not paramount, as you will be doing a negotiation for me. We have a little troublemaker out on the north side of town who needs to be calmed before he gets out of hand. Alright? So, what I need from all of you today is, after the sun goes down, head up north to the edge of the forest, make contact, negotiate for him to either leave or to downscale his nuisances. And that's it. George.
What is he?
This is a puka.
Is there a book on that in the library?
Tori's like, so it's like a ghost.
I'd probably like whip back and be like, the hell do you know that word?
Less of a ghost, more of a spirit. Will o' the wisp.
Sorry, who was this? What we're talking about? I was focused on code names.
Troublemaker, North Forest.
Oh, okay. Yep.
It's a puka, and
Mhm,
that would
yep.
actually maybe did William spend much time in Wales?
Yes, a little bit family, but generally like urban, like Cardiff.
Okay. Maybe. You know what? Let's have Let's have a roll for this.
Oh my god, a roll?
A roll.
Oh my god.
Can I ask how to spell
What is
puka
going
real quick?
on?
It's P-
PWCA.
Oh, I thought it was
PW.
POOKA.
No. Like
No.
it's spelled a few different ways.
Yeah.
The Welsh spelling is PWCA.
So, what do you want?
But it's pronounced POO.
Investigate?
I
Or-
know the pronouncing, but I'm no
Yes.
Welsh speller. That's some shit right there.
Let's see. Do I have anything here? Obscure knowledge. I'd like to.
Obscure knowledge would work, yeah.
And maybe researcher?
Researcher, I'd say
Yeah, no, probably not. Yeah,
not in
but-
this instance, yeah. Oh,
Okay. Yeah, well, let's go with obscure knowledge then. That sounds good.
okay.
Okay, so 1 plus. Investigate.
I would say
Mm.
it is quite obscure mythology.
Yeah.
You would maybe know Will of the Wisp.
Yeah.
or
No,
wisps.
definitely knows that, but that's more mainstream.
The puka is quite different, slightly different to that, but it would give you and Tori a decent base of what it is. Essentially, the Will of the Wisp, the wisps, are kind of helpful beings. Sometimes like they're kind of impish. They have like a the worst thing that they're known for is either for messing up things around the house, hiding things, but generally being mischievous.
I was gonna say.
And also for anyone who is traveling, any wanderers, they like to mislead them, lead them into swamps and get them lost.
Yeah,
and that
fairy
kind of
lights.
thing. Yeah. So, the puka, and he will have explained that part to you as well, just so we don't have to go over it again. And he kind of reaches down below his desk, pulls up this big jug, kind of like it's a glass see-through one. It's almost like the blowing jugs where you go like woo woo woo. It looks a bit like that.
Big moonshine jug.
Yeah, it's a big moonshine
yeah.
jug. It's got a cork in the top, and he says, "If negotiations don't go well, you may need this." And he plonks it on his desk. Also,
Well, I'm not gonna walk around with that all day.
well, you can come and collect it after school if you like, after classes. Also, you'll want to go and buy some milk and some bread. That'll help the negotiations.
Milk and bread.
Milk and bread.
This thing doesn't sound too dangerous.
Mischievous, but it could escalate, and this is what we're here to stop.
Right.
Okay.
Get him to stop, and we won't have any problems. If he refuses, dip some of the milk in some of the bread in the milk, put it in the jug. Should work out fine.
What is he doing? Like, what are we asking him to stop? Just like everything?
So far, he is knocking over gravestones. Couple of people have gotten lost in the woods. Nothing too serious yet.
Yet.
Oh, if you need some help tracking him down, go and talk to the gravekeeper in the cemetery. His name is Wilbur Moran.
Yes, the not today guy.
Oh, yes! Wilbur Moran, you said?
Wilbur Moran. He can set you on the right path to finding the little devil. Any questions? George,
When is this due?
tonight would be good.
Like, after school?
After dark.
What do I... Well, we're gonna figure out where to put Joel.
Oh, and if you do go to the graveyard, stay on the path, look out for zombies.
I'll probably look
Alright.
back at Cece.
Tori's just like,
Be like,
that is enough crazy for today. Like, it's plenty.
Stop. Would you stop looking at me like that?
Did you do it with your hands, though?
I'm not gonna tear open any zombies.
Could though, right?
That's a good question, actually, Cecilia. You
No.
don't feel hungry for
No.
for brains or
No, I said none of this anymore.
right. Well, anyway,
Class soon.
that's your assignment. Go enjoy class. Have a normal day, obviously until tonight. And if you need anything, you can always come and talk to me. I should have another assignment for you in a couple of days.
As George gets up and walks out with her book, she's gonna look at Will and be like, "So if I eat a brain, am I a zombie?"
I think it's worth looking into.
I don't know where brains.
Yes, and you're a pen now because you ate a pen.
It's
And
not how
Cecilia
it works.
Cecilia will stand up with that.
I love the idea of Will just looking at George going, oh, you are what you eat.
So,
Okay.
does anyone want to talk to Mr. Ashford before, like, you all leave?
I guarantee I'm the first one out that door.
Yeah.
Boy scares the shit out of me.
And Will 2 inches behind going,
Yeah, I got nothing to say to Ashford, though the rest of the group I might wanna try and catch without Ashford.
I would imagine that as you leave the class, you kind of are in an awkward, huddled group. Like, the students haven't turned up yet, so it's an empty hallway, and you can go to the lounge or, you know, somewhere else to kind of have a quick sit down and chat.
Listen, Tori's like, listen, we should talk about this, right? She says, phrasing very carefully a question.
That's probably smart. Can't you just like make him not need us?
It doesn't work. I tried.
Shit. I figured worth an ask. You could eat him.
I could eat him.
I swear I have no idea what happened to me or
I think-
why I'm useful, but that's all I've got.
I think just lingering outside the door, like Tori's contribution to this is, we shouldn't talk about this too much outside of, you know, safe locations. This meeting or whatever.
No, you're right. Do you guys have like aim?
Hey,
ICQ.
Yeah.
got my MSN Messenger.
Oh, no, that's not out
A
yet.
group,
Yeah,
a
that's
group
not out.
email chain.
Oh, shit, ICQ isn't out yet either. It's 1996 it launches. Shit,
know.
what we have.
I think Tori just gives you her phone number.
I think
Right.
literally we'd probably do one of those like four-way calls.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Four-way calls, yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we'd probably trade numbers because and we
blast
probably all
from the
agree we
past.
should say nothing at school. Like we don't know
Yeah.
who else is like Miss Peaches was the so we don't know what else is what out there. Like I 100% agree that I would probably be
Do
really
you
scared to
mention
talk about
Mr.
anything.
Knight at all? I wonder.
He
Like-
didn't mention Mr. Knight at all. The only thing he talked about was the counselor,
No one
Okay.
talked about Mr. Knight in there.
Yeah.
which is interesting because doesn't Cece kind of like Mr. Knight, or was it just that she
Yeah, but
hated Mr. Ashford?
you guys had an encounter with him.
Yeah,
Like, she would have
He
no
tried to kill
reason-
me.
She would have no reason to bring up Mr. Knight here. The ones who would have had a reason were you guys, but no one did, so that's interesting.
True.
True.
Dude, I have so many questions that now I realize I can't ask when we're at school.
Like what? We have a couple minutes.
Like, what the fuck happened to y'all? Like, what tried to hurt you? The lunch lady split into two lunch ladies and then had a tongue longer than the parking lot and tried to eat me.
That creepy
And
guy.
then Mr. Knight
you-
came in.
That
hit me with
creepy
the
guy
bah,
who you gave my name to gave me some cursed card. And when I tried to
Cursed
use my
card. She's
power-
gonna like search her pockets for the cards that she took from him.
Yeah. You have a couple of his cards still in your pocket.
Yeah, because Will never took one.
Cursed? How?
when I tried to use my power, it choked me to death, basically.
Against him?
No,
But if we don't have the card, then it doesn't. Or am I
Listen.
just...
Listen, I was gonna tell Laura, but she didn't. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
don't. She's gonna try to drop the cards, and they'll probably be like stuck to her fingers. Kinda.
No.
What the-
You can drop them.
Yeah. You don't know
Ish.
how the curses work, so just.
Yeah. Stomp
what
on it
does
a little.
this other guy look like?
Gray complexion, creepy, sort of hunched over guy.
Black suit.
Looks like death.
Pointy black shoes.
Introduces himself as a con man and a liar, so he's pretty obvious.
I'm
His
sorry
name's-
about that,
his
by the way.
name's-
I totally
his
thought he
name-
was here to help.
His name is Bertrand. He's involved in all this.
How did you have like you had a lot of conversation with that dude.
He was sitting on my car.
That's just rude.
So wait, so all three of you, the only reason you're helping Ashford is because he saved your lives from imminent danger?
And then extorted us for millions of dollars.
I mean, I told him I didn't want to, and then he was like, okay, and then I started dying again, so
Holy
that
shit.
felt bad.
Right, so he's going to kill you if you don't help.
I mean, it was that or Mr. Knight was gonna kill me with his pop, so whatever. What am I gonna do?
Wait, how was Mr. Knight going to kill you?
This conversation is like moving down the hallway.
Yeah. I'll
Next
just be
to the
like,
teacher's
it's the
room."
longest story. I was getting some free food and blah, blah, blah. And then we'll get to the part where then suddenly lunch lady splits in half and Mr. Knight's there with glowing hands. I don't know. The weird thing is that the lunch lady said she was only there because I smelled particularly good out of nowhere, like newly good. And then she knocked out Will.
It's gotta be whatever's like inside, right? Whatever you inherited.
But why wouldn't Will smell tasty? Little Mr. Devil Boy over here.
I look at Will like we still don't know what's going on with Will.
Yeah, none of us
Yeah,
have any clue.
Devil sounded.
Yeah. I think at that we probably all turned to Will like
Yeah.
expectantly.
All of the
like,
heads just go like at
Yeah.
the same time.
He doesn't say anything. He just looks at everyone in turn and goes, I think Deville is pretty good.
Tori stares at you for a moment and then says, "You know, just because Mr. Ashford isn't here doesn't mean we can't find out. I can ask you.
I
Well,
can
tell
eat you.
to tell me."
Ask, and he's like, yeah. Eat is like, "Ooh." And then he looks at Cecilia like, you tear things to pieces. That's even worse. But he
Cecilia
doesn't
just
say
a
anything.
silent
He just looks
terror.
horrid and like, okay.
I imagine if you're that scared, does the thing come out?
Ooh.
If we actually I mean, we might have been fucking around, but like, if you're scared enough that she's gonna come, like, with the thing, be like,
Yeah.
flishy flash, or I don't know. I don't know when that happens.
I would say in this instance, you're not really like
Will's power
obvious-
seems really self-aware, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
well, it's interesting. We'll get there when we get there.
All right,
what
all
I,
good, all
what
good.
I, what I would say is, you yourself may be worried and scared, but you're not in any imminent danger here.
Oh,
you don't
so the
feel
devil's eye knows the
threatened.
difference.
Mm.
The devil's thing knows the difference between Will
it's-
thinking he's dying and really dying.
It's like
kind of.
not. It's like not indiscriminate, right? Yeah.
It's not indiscriminate. You'll figure out as you go. Like there are ways to bring it out, but you haven't got there yet. So
Poor Will.
Somehow Tori has negotiated this march of people to end up
Yep.
near where she needs to be at her locker. So she peels off a little bit.
I feel like she's
and-
just naturally a commanding, like,
She just
leadership
moves.
kind
She
of
just moves
person.
and expects people to follow her,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
that's just how it is. And she says to everybody before like they break, you know, like just have a normal day, normal.
Cursed!
Can't really, but yeah.
I'll probably, like, look at my hands where my pen was, where there's probably, like, ink all up and down one of my palms, be like,
Hmm.
If two teachers are involved in this, then maybe more adults here are. normal. She reasserts. And
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
Like, and then like turns to her locker to like start getting her
and
shit
like
ready.
this kind of dismisses them in that
Yeah.
sense. All right. What we'll do is as Tori says normal and like turns to her locker, fade away from that. For the rest of the day, you attempt to have a normal day. Cecilia?
Cecilia?
I'm not
Try
gonna
really
disrupt
hard.
I'm not gonna disrupt the normal day.
Yeah.
I just want to say that the moment like that Tori just suddenly turns around to her locker and like dismisses them basically, there's like a twinge of like frustration in Cecilia's brow, and she just like frowns for a little bit and like with a bit of dismay like just goes on. I just wanted to add
yeah,
that.
I definitely want those conversations. My God,
I
sorry,
see
it's
that.
like there's gonna be good.
If like just to be on the same thing, I probably feel the exact opposite. It's
Yeah.
probably just the extreme relief of I get to walk away now, and I'm not required
Yeah.
to talk to anyone else the rest of the
Yeah.
day. Like normal as hell. Bye, thank you.
So we're not covering the whole day. I am covering one point in the day, which is where all of you have philosophy.
Oh no.
So
Ethics.
interestingly, Mr. Knight is not there when you all come in and sit down.
Woo. Oh wait.
He
All of us think like shit, he got eaten.
he bustles in maybe a minute late and immediately says, all right, class, settle down. And as everyone kind of like the murmuring dies out and everyone pays attention to him, he says, he looks straight forward and then his eyes land on William and his eyes land on George.
Oh dear.
And as he talks, he is looking at George. One thing we're going to touch on immediately is the concept of mutually assured destruction. Now, what is mutually assured destruction? Anyone? And he looks at William. Yes?
Soviet Union and the Americas, or NATO and nukes.
The Cold War is a very good example. What it essentially means is, in any given situation, you have the means to ruin the other side, and they have the means to ruin you. Now, what often happens in these situations is some sort of uneasy truce is agreed upon, whereby the one side agrees that they will not mess with or attempt to destroy the other side, while the other side agrees to do the same. Essentially, there is the ability on both sides to destroy the other, and it is almost like a threat hanging over each other's heads to ensure that neither side makes a move against the other. Yes.
What if one side's a lying dumpster fire?
Well, then, if one side makes a move that the other side doesn't agree with, the other side will initiate their assured destruction, leading to both sides destroying each other. Something that I feel neither side really wants.
I don't know. Lying
Game of-
trash
this
fires.
This game of chicken.
And he puts his hands on the desk. I think all of us can appreciate a situation like this, and none of us would, in that situation, really be inclined to fire the first shot once the truce is established. Yes.
Wouldn't it be reasonable, let's say if one side got a shot and then proposed a truce, that the other side gets a shot to even the fucking game board?
Language, otherwise you'll see yourself in detention.
Tori looks over at George like, "Don't get fucking detention. Like we have shit to do."
I'm sorry, I forgot to
We
take
haven't
my
got time
Adderall.
for this.
Oh shit, I don't know what pill. No, Adderall was around. My Ritalin. I didn't take my meds this morning.
An occasional mistake is acceptable as long as it doesn't happen on the regular. So, hopefully, everyone has a decent idea of what I'm talking about. And he glances at George.
She's not even giving him nothing. She'll probably look over at Will like, fuck this guy.
And then looks over at William and kind of holds his eyes for a second. So,
Yeah, William doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
He just goes.
I think we can proceed safely for now. And he carries on with the class. He starts talking about other concepts and other things. I assume that the message was received.
I think by multiple people, because this felt like a very intense one-on-one moment
Yeah,
where
it was
they
a-
were staring at each other. It was like,
It was a little weird.
I'd probably pass a note to Will that says, I'm going to eat him. Something along those lines.
Holy
Not
shit.
during class, but, after class or something.
I love how George is like seems totally fine with having to eat people right now until she probably comes across a moment where she actually has to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a total blank thread, to be honest. Or not a blank, like an empty thread, 100%. She just doesn't know what she's useful for, and that seems the scariest thing, to be honest. But, like, Ashford was saying she could suck the gas out of a room, right? Or, like, a poisonous gas or something?
Yeah, poisonous gas and
All I can think is, can I remove the oxygen from a room? Because I really want to do that to him. That'd be great.
I'm assuming
More
you,
realistic than eating.
I'm assuming you don't.
No. I'm not ballsy enough.
And I'm assuming this room isn't airtight.
No. I just
We're
sit through the
very
whole class.
sophisticated. Well,
Oh,
we
God,
have to
no.
open a window.
With a
or
whole
we're gonna
classroom of
choke.
children, yeah.
Yeah. Also,
No.
what would happen is the windows would implode. It would still
Oh,
be,
yeah,
it'd
it'd
still
have
be
to be a-
effective, but
It'd have to be a
yeah.
vacuum or something, right, for that to
Yeah,
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. She just fantasizing.
Creating a vacuum is dangerous for everyone.
Yeah.
But one thing that I imagine would cross George's mind is if she can absorb, can she store?
Oh yeah, probably.
So I'll leave that thought in.
Definitely, because the first question she asked was, "Where does it go?"
Yeah.
And she did not get. I think he literally said, "That's a good question." Anyways, or something like that. Like, so she has no idea. But definitely the idea of like, what did he say you could eat? He said something enormous. I can't remember what it was. And the idea of like consuming something that size, like where is it going inside of her body? There's got to be something to it.
Yeah. He said eventually you may be able to consume an entire mountain.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's just like mind-boggling.
So
I think she feels the most okay with it, or like acts the most okay with it, because she has like the least uncontrollable thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not me like, I honest to God, like think your guys' reactions to yours make sense. Because, I mean, Tori's is mildly controllable other than she can't figure out why it doesn't work on some people.
She's
But, like-
very definitely making sure she doesn't make any direct commands. so
Yeah,
she can
yeah,
do it.
exactly. Exactly. Whereas like Cece and Will, like both of you still kind of haven't figured them out, and you're very like, you're getting nothing. And mine seems very straightforward.
Yeah. And also, there's nothing that, like, for the rest of them, as far as we can tell, there's some uncontrollable nature to them, where, like, for Tori, it's fired without her wanting it to. For Cecilia, she ripped apart a monster. For William, he's not sure how to trigger it, he's not sure how to use it. Whereas for George,
As of right now, it's useless to William.
Yeah. So what I will say is we now have essentially you go to your classes. You go to your classes. You do your things, and we are now in the realm of clubs and teams and sports and after-school activities on, like essentially all that type of thing. So, it is something that we haven't touched on too much. So, who would like to start with what you're doing for your afternoon activities? Are you doing a club? You doing a?
I mean, we teased the swimming pool for a brief.
I was just
for
waiting.
a brief
Yes.
scene, and I
I just want
wanted
to see what the fuck she does because she can't go in a pool, right?
I definitely want to do that, and
Okay.
also I think it would be hilarious if it were like, I don't know what George does after school. George or William has chess club, right?
Well, William
go with
has a chess club.
All right.
And I
They
think
got-
I'm gonna
they-
stalk him
They
to
got
it.
they got their own thing. I
Yeah.
was gonna be like, if they're just like waiting around for us to go do this like forest thing, they're just like sitting there watching. You know
Oh.
what I mean? It's like the weirdest shit.
That'd be so. I mean, it is weird, but it's on his. I kind of want.
like
I want
that.
the dynamic with William
I
where
like that
he's in
better.
control of the
I
environment.
like that.
For
No,
once.
I like that. I like that better. I just forgot about the chess club.
Mm.
My brain was just like include as many people as you can.
So, yeah, Tori.
Yeah.
Essentially, you get to swim team. You're not late. You know, like it's been a normal day aside from the start. And
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I'm always ready to go for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is zen. This is easy.
Laura is there in the changing room as well, and when you come in, she kind of smiles. She takes a second once you've kind of changed into your swim gear, and she like leans over. She's like, "Hey, Tori, you alright?"
Yeah, I'm fine. It was just like some freak thing.
Yeah,
Don't worry about it. I'm okay.
you seemed a bit out of, you know, a bit off yesterday.
I just like that creepy guy.
Yeah, of course. Was there was something you wanted to say, right? Like before you had that throat problem?
Yeah. But things are kind of changed, and it'll have to wait.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you know, when you want to talk, just let me know.
And she sort of nods, like, "Yes, my best friend." You know what I mean? Smile,
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
like everything's cool between us. You know?
Yeah. And, you know, like, there's been times throughout your lives as you've known each other where you've kept secrets to a degree, but in general, you both know that invariably you tend to end up telling each other, you know, like, either after it's over or when you need help. so
There are secrets between them that have remained secrets. Absolutely.
most probably, yeah. And then you head out and, ooh, let's have a look here. It is Coach Tuttle.
Yeah,
is
Coach
is as you guys step out, she says, "All right, ladies, come on, let's go. Let's start."
There's a couple of nondescript NPCs. I'm sure.
Yeah,
that we haven't
absolutely.
really met.
There's a good like 8 to 10 people on the swim team. A few you know, replacements and reserves. And Miss Tuttle says, "All right, let's start off with is it? I'm not super great at swimming. Is it called laps when you just go up and down?"
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with 10 laps, quick as you can. Just a bit of warm up, and
Just back into shape. Let's go.
Oh.
First swim team meeting. Gotcha.
so I am going to be rolling for Laura as the only other.
Notable NPC.
Yes.
I was about to say named NPC. No one else has any names.
Okay.
Um.
And what do you want me to roll?
So let's have a look here.
So I have siren stuff, aquatic affinities in there. In the swim team, I have various swimming benefits.
So I think we'll go with a go toe to toe.
Okay.
And Laura gets 1. So I'll just roll for Laura now. There you go, mild success for her. Essentially, this is swimming. This is athleticism, stamina to a certain degree.
So I'm gonna take aquatic affinity. 'Cause
Yes.
That's definitely relevant here.
Definitely.
And I mean swimming. The swim team defining thing. I have like athletic, endurance, swimming on it. You know what I mean? Like
Sounds like 4.
sounds like 4. Yeah.
What I will say is that when you dive in and as you start swimming, you feel a kind of like almost like goosebumps across you, and you feel like for a hot second you feel a little bit weak. You feel a little bit
Oh no.
like it's nothing significant, right? Like it's much like much like the like smell of the salt air that you occasionally smell. It's very subtle and it's not overpowering. It's just something you can notice for a second, but
Absolutely.
then you adjust and it's fine. It doesn't hang with you.
Little off balance when I hit the water, basically,
Yeah.
and there's something.
So
off,
there won't be any weakness yet.
great. Okay.
Operative word is yet.
The operative word is.
So
okay,
please
go, here
roll
we go.
me
Go
a-
toe to toe.
With 4.
14.
Yeah, like athletic, endurance, swimming, aquatic affinity. I'll give a little extra boost to this as well in saying that sometimes as you're swimming, you don't feel like the force you're putting in should equate to how fast you're going. It does feel like you're sliding through the water as opposed to propelling you through it.
Hell yeah.
So it feels easier, like the force necessary is lessened, and so you find yourself pulling ahead. You start to lap a couple of the other girls in the swim team.
Absolutely torpedo style, just killing it.
As you're about halfway through, you hear this like, "Woo! Yeah, Tori! Woo woo woo!" And you can probably take a second to look into the stands, into the bleachers type
Yeah.
thing at the side. There's a couple of people there. There is Nicole and Rebecca. Also, Aaron is there as
Yeah.
well, like cheering you on. There's a few other more faceless NPCs who are, not really part of your circle, but always looking to slide in.
Everybody knows me. It's
Yeah.
a good thing. It's a good part of being popular.
And you are also kind of killing it.
The problem with killing it too hard is like, am I killing it at an Olympic level? Because that's a problem.
Not at an Olympic level, but at a higher level than anyone would expect of you. Or any of
Absolutely.
the girls.
So like uncharacteristically.
Like even
Enough to
better than I
notice.
would usually do, even though
I-
I'm pretty top tier already.
I would say explainable away by a lot of heavy training,
Okay.
but whether you want to risk having to, describe that or not.
All right.
So,
Yeah, no, she keeps going at like,
Keep going.
she wants to make sure that she shows off like the best she possibly can.
and
Because you gotta revel in it a little bit, right? Like,
and as you're like finishing your last lap, you hit the side and everyone starts cheering and clapping, and you like you don't feel tired. That's something I'll tell you. You don't feel like you've done 10 laps at a quick speed. So whether you want to pant a little bit and look a bit out of breath, you can.
Nope.
Okay.
nope, it's
so
all genuine. It's genuine ease. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it's all easy.
as you get out of the water though, and as you get out, you do start to feel a bit more lethargic and a bit like that fatigue comes into your arms and legs a little bit. But the coach like runs up and she like claps you on the back and she says, "Miss Whitlock, I was going to actually hold tryouts for the next captain of the swim team, but I mean, that was such an impressive performance. Like, what do you say? Do you want the position?"
Yeah, of course. I've been working hard over the summer break, she says, lying.
I mean, I wasn't expecting anyone to come back in this good condition. Like, I really think that, in the next competition, we're going to, like, do you think you could train the other girls? Like, step up the pace a bit?
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe an extra practice here. Like, with you as captain, we'll have a chat about it and see what we can organise. It's a little bit of groaning from some of the people who are still, swimming and etc.
Making their way.
Yeah. And there's as everyone kind of like finishes up, like gets to the end of their laps and everything. The coach turns and says, Coach Tottle turns and says, okay, everyone, say hello to your new captain, Victoria Whitlock. And, like, the majority of the swim team, I expect, was already expecting this anyway. So, the applause and the kind of, happiness isn't too,
but
like...
she showed them up major style, what I mean?
There's a couple of grumpy girls in there who are, like, not super happy, but mostly because they got smoked. But at the very least, Laura seems happy for you. And
I think throughout the swim there was a little bit of Tori being like, this does not make any sense. I should not be doing this much better. They either all suck or something is going on. So there's the like bringing together of the supernatural like conversations earlier, and she's like, okay, it has something to do with water, smell the sea, whatever.
Yeah, I would say also the slight weakness on touching the pool. It is something that would stick in her mind as kind of like a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
But it essentially there's not much she can do about it, and it went away, so might be something that comes back to her later, or like appears.
Sure.
Okay. And we'll fade on essentially the coach being like, all right, more laps, or whatever it is that swimmers do. I don't.
Next drill. I don't know either because I'm not a swimmer either.
Next drill. Can you
Clap
believe?
your arms, ladies.
Can you believe?
Backstroke.
Can you believe two people who know nothing about swimming pick swimming for the character?
We just like if we pick cheerleading, I'd know even less.
Yeah, me too. Like, come on, girls, kick legs, yay!
Yeah.
No, even
So, open up again for clubs. If anyone would like to take the.
We've come up with the names, by the way.
Oh, they're terrible. I hate them.
They're absolutely on point and perfect.
Okay.
There are no changes necessary or accepted.
Fair enough.
I'd love to do the chess club.
Okay. So, like, if George is, I'm assuming George is going to be tagging along.
Yes.
How does that occur? Does Will basically just go like, so I'm going to chess club now. It's my club. I have to chess.
Yeah, I think it's one of those moments where he like turns to leave and kind of senses that Joel and I are probably still following him, and he turns around, sees us, and we're like, what? Said you're going to chess. We're going to chess.
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 That's it.
Joel's
very
got no
net-
idea
we're
this
just-
was that.
And Will kind of goes, okay.
That's it.
So-
We're
and
just
then
going to follow him.
we go to the library or
Well,
whatever where we played chess.
Yeah, walk to the library and walk in. And as you walk in, and there's like, we are presented with the quiet nature of the library. Everyone's quiet. There's like kind of like a hushed tone.
Oh my
and
god, George is not going to be quiet.
There's like a hushed tone, and the librarian is there at her desk, kind of sorting books, and you can hear the click, click, click of chess pieces being placed and moved. Joel goes, "We had a library? I didn't realize we had a library."
I did, but why would you have games in a library? Aren't you supposed to be quiet here?
I thought you had like a club, and there's just this kind of just resounding shh from all over the library.
I love it.
Is it quiet time?
Yes.
You should have told us, William, to be quiet. We would have been quiet.
Yeah, bro. How are we supposed to know?
We would.
You're supposed to be quiet in the library, Joe.
Okay. I can do that. Let's go.
I'm William and I know everything.
Let's go.
Will heads over to like the area where they're playing.
Yeah.
What was the name of the guy that like gave up halfway because he was losing the first day?
That is Stephen. Stephen McKenna.
Stephen. Is Stephen there?
He is there, yes.
Is he playing with anyone?
He is playing with Bridget currently.
Who's winning?
Bridget is.
Okay. So Will just stand there And now he kind of feels a little bit more confident because he's part of a group of 3.
Yeah.
So he's just standing there waiting for
He's
Steven
got to
to...
feel that power shift too, because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
are out of place.
exactly.
Like, this is his
Like-
Yeah.
domain.
Like Joel is like peeking over your shoulder, like looking down at the thing. He's like,
And when Joel looks over, Will leans over and says loud enough so that Steven can hear it, he's losing.
and there's kind of like there's like a pause in the click, 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 as like the bishop is held in the air for a half second,
Yeah.
and then it goes on, and his head goes down a little bit, like his brows furrow,
Yeah.
and Joel goes,
I got the impression from the first that Steven and William are kind of like rivals in the chess game. They're not like unfriendly, but they're like
they're not
Yeah.
unfriendly. There is a rivalry there because William's a little bit better than Stephen. Like, you've won and lost both, but there's slightly tilted in your favor. And Stephen is the chess club captain. You know, the leader, and he was the best at chess.
he was.
You can. Like, he used to beat Bridget all the time. More and more since you've joined, he's been losing to her too. You think maybe he's gone a little bit tilted, maybe he's off his game because he's lost confidence. And also, as Joel is leaning over and you whisper that to him, he turns around and, like, a little bit louder, but still trying to whisper. Like, Joel doesn't have a whisper voice.
No.
No.
He has an indoor voice. Unfortunately, it's
He's
an
like-
indoor cathedral.
He's like, when's halftime?
And Will points at the clock that they keep, slipping back, and it says, when that says 5 minutes, that's half time.
So do you guys get like Capri Sun and orange slices?
Oh yes.
Nice. Sick. So whose ass are you kicking?
And then Will doesn't point; he just goes with his head and goes him. And
At Steven.
at Steven.
We'll probably-
There's another pause.
Damn,
like-
Will. Damn.
I love
Yeah.
this. I love it.
Will has gotten like more confidence boosted by
Yeah.
actual having friends for the last week and a
Will-
half.
Will in his element.
Yeah.
More caustic than Tori.
And
I almost wonder, like, these guys probably haven't seen Will act like this.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Is he normally much more like reserved?
Oh yeah. And Stephen, quite clipped, says, "We don't hover over you, William. Please don't hover over us."
Joel is like an umbrella.
He's like at the table, like crouched,
Yeah.
like.
Why are these ones on the side?
Just the
You
guy
guys
at the
knocked
side
them
of
off.
the
Let me put
table.
them back for you. I think Joel and I would probably like kind of look at wherever's in the direction of, if Joel's not actually hovering over it, and get that like look like, oh fucking A. We're gonna like, what's the word in the baseball game when you like jostle people with your words? Heckle.
Mm.
We're gonna heckle him.
Mm.
But then we're not, because you don't heckle, but
I
the
think
mentality of that. like,
is
psych him
there a table not being used like next to it with a board and a clock?
There's some like fairly ornate chairs as well, which have those big like sides that come out and
Okay.
like rest in them. It's one of the ones that Bridget was in the last chess club.
Will sits down and like arranges everything and resets the clock and everything and wait for.
Bridget, as she's like placing, she says, "We've got the clubhouse sorted, or the club room.
Has Will done that?
It's been done now.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to have a different sponsor, but that's been sorted out. Steven sorted that out. Check.
Oh, who do we get?
I don't know, some dude, maths teacher or something.
Oh, okay.
And I would say Joel is like he sits down and he kind of like trying to awkwardly get comfortable in this, like puts his knee up and
Yeah.
like fidgeting. He's like,
Way too much noise.
he's like, so what do we do now? So what do we do now?
Is the table that they're playing at next to the one Will is sitting at?
A little bit of ways, but yeah.
Okay. Will glances over, and as he turns back, he just goes, "I see mate in 5." And it's not like trying to rub it in.
Yeah.
It's just like I can
Facts.
I can still play even if I'm not playing. Essentially.
Do we like get a book and read and stuff?
Do we
Yes, you can do
applaud?
that. Yeah, you can do that.
Like, I'd love to chess with you, but I don't know how.
I don't think we're allowed to just chess.
I don't think we're allowed to chess, no.
I could teach you if you want.
Or we could go look at the anatomy books.
They're over there.
fucking George.
Or we could not
We're
do
gonna
that.
go find penises in a book.
And
Is that Katie or is that George doing that?
I think that's
It's a
immature
little bit.
teenagers.
It's a little bit
Yeah.
of
Little bit of both,
teenager.
little bit
A
of
action.
little bit of both, yeah.
so I would say after a little bit of time, you hear Bridget say checkmate, and there's this kind of like he doesn't get upset, but he very silent, like simmering, kind of starts to put the chess pieces back, and Bridget gets up and moves over and says, "Game?"
Yeah, sure.
And she,
Absolutely.
without a word, like sits down and starts to.
So
get ready.
Will has set it up so it's not white on one side and black on the other. It's white to the left and black to the right. And he says heads or tails.
Tails.
Flips it. It's tails.
Okay. And she
And then he switches,
swings it so that she gets white and makes her opening move, and we will go toe to toe.
Cool.
I want to lean out from the bookshelf that Joel and I are sniggering behind and like look at my watch and be like, 8 and 5. Nice. We're still paying attention, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to invoke high focus, tactically minded, spatially aware, and 2 moves ahead.
Yes.
Oh, hell
so that will
yeah.
be 4.
Hell yeah.
Slaughter. What's the girl's name you're playing?
Bridget.
Bridget, thank you.
So we will do a go toe to toe, and you may.
Can I
Okay.
use because I've played her before
Yes.
quite a bit.
Yes.
Can I use insight because I know how she plays?
I would say yes. So, do you have any weaknesses here that would?
Uncool. I don't know if that has any bearing.
I would say not in this instance. No, you're playing
Yeah.
chess. That's not cool.
Let's
No
see.
offense, chess players. I play chess myself.
Chess is the shit.
Chess is fun.
Let's see. Hyper focus, maybe.
I would say hyper focused could lead to you missing things.
Mm.
So
Okay, 1 minus.
yeah, 1 minus. So that's going to be 4 total.
Yeah. Toe to toe.
Go toe to toe. Ooh. Oh, I rolled as Steven. Apologies. I meant to roll as Bridget, but that's the same thing. So
Steven, Bridget.
Bridget rolled a 10. You rolled a 14.
Yeah. 6 and a 4.
I will say that as you hear a few occasional chuckles, like from off by the stacks.
Oh yeah, I thought it was Steven. No, it's George.
No,
and
it's
Joel.
George and Joel. Yeah.
I love that.
I would say that it comes down to the wire. She gives you a good run for your money, and you end up having to use a pawn cycled into a queen and a castle to trap her when she has nothing. Like, you take all the rest of her pieces. It's like it's a real slugfest where you're just taking all her pieces slowly
I
like whittling her
I
down.
love the idea that I managed to put her into Zugzwang, where the disadvantage for her is that she has to move. So
Yeah.
she's in a good position now, but it's her turn and she has to move. And whatever move she makes, she will be in a worse position than when she started.
Yeah.
And that's when it starts to go downhill.
Oh yeah, for sure. And eventually, you get her into checkmate. Although, like sometimes you do resign, but when it's so closely fought, invariably in the chess club, you want to learn as much as you can, and she evades you decently for a while, and you get that feeling of kind of like she wants to play it out to the end to learn how to evade, to like delay, and maybe get a stalemate.
A long game that you lose at, you learn a lot more than a quick game that you win at.
Yeah. And when it's over and you've checkmated her, she says, "Good game," and starts to clear up the pieces. Essentially, the person who wins doesn't have to put everything back.
Does the dishes, basically. Yeah.
Once she's done putting them back together, she kind of stands up and she goes over to one of the chairs, picks up a book that's on the table and opens it up and starts reading it.
Will put all the pieces as they were when Steven left the game. From the game that he abandoned.
Okay.
He will put it like that.
Yep.
And then he will look at Steven and say, "Shall we continue where we stopped?"
He puts down his book. He walks over. He looks at the board.
I believe it was your turn.
Knocks over his king.
No! It would have been a cool moment, you dickhead. Okay.
I resign.
What?
How about another game?
Okay. And then start.
And then he sits down and starts to
start setting everything up.
He doesn't seem super like put out. He's just a little annoyed.
He lost that game a week and a half ago.
Yeah, he lost that game and it essentially like you just didn't get the opportunity to
rub it in his face.
Yeah. So
he does. Will does heads or tails?
Heads.
Tails.
And spin the board so that you start. And would either of you like to like highlight anything else?
I'd like to get into the game.
You'd like to kick his ass?
No, I specifically Will would like to sit like this.
Yeah.
And just completely ignore Steven because they get into the game because they've played together so often because they're fairly evenly matched.
Yeah.
I think he would like to sit and just completely focus on the game, so much so that he doesn't notice that Devil Eye pops out because he's completely focused.
It wouldn't pop out if you're completely focused.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like overt, like excessive emotions of any kind, because he would be like dip 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 dip
yeah
dip 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 dip, and
I would say that and if you have a counterpoint perfectly open to it happening, I'm down for it. But when you're focused like that, you're not that emotional. You're like intense and you're very like hyper focused, but you're not really like you're not angry, you're not sad, you're not scared. It's more...
Yeah, no, that's true. But my counterpoint to that would be he would be ignoring his emotions, so it will be easier for the Devil Eye to manifest itself.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't quite go that way.
No, that's fine. I'm just I'm thinking that will be
you gave an opportunity for the Devil Eye to assert itself. It
did not. Okay, no, that's fair. So he just goes toe to toe with Steve.
Would you like to do the roll?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
13.
11. Again, in this instance, I think he resigns a bit early. Well, not early compared to like how the game was going, but earlier than Bridget did. Just he sees the end there, and he doesn't want to play out another loss. So he quietly knocks his king over, starts to put things back together, and then says...
Will reaches over to shake his hand. when he knocks his king over.
There is the barest of hesitations before he takes the hand and shakes it, and then once he's finished putting everything back together, he says, "I have to go to the toilet," and then bathroom. Sorry, bathroom. And then like kind of hurries out and rushes out.
Yeah.
Just as a little extra flourish on that, if anyone walks into the boys' downstairs bathroom, you can hear like tapping on the stool.
Katie's face.
It's not what you think, don't worry. The second I do anything,
No.
everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's creepy."
I wouldn't. He doesn't seem that interesting. Honestly, I was just trying to figure out a reason I could go there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get to stop trying to get detention. Jeez.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. No, I Will is now that he has like not 1-2. He doesn't count it as 2 because one he lost, or Stephen lost a week and a half ago. But now he's like, okay, now everything is right with the world of chess.
Question.
Yes.
Out of the three of you, this does include Joel. I'll give you like Joel kind of is a go with the flow type dude, so I'll give you a kind of like, ability to say what he does too. Here, do any of you go to like check out a book or anything?
No, probably not.
Yes.
Okay. What book? What book have you got?
So I got Joel hooked on some book with like peepees in it, so he's all interested in giggling.
Yeah.
And I went looking for some sort of like I went in the theology section, anywhere like that, looking for any sort of demonology book.
Any sort
Secretly,
of
'cause
demonology book?
I just don't know what I am, or what any of us are. Like any kind of book that I can't think of any name of it, but some sort of any kind of mythology book that would have anything about sirens or anything that we are, that I might think we are.
The sweet mythology textbook, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, as you're looking around the library, you're kind of like, you're going through the main stacks, and it's like biology, chemistry, science, and nature, and geography, and all of these things. And you come to a little corner where the books are a lot weirder. Some of them are like leather bound, some of them are look older, and and it's just like a little corner, like a couple of stacks right there. And like you're looking through them, and there's like weird herbology stuff, and
I've hit the jackpot then. This
and
is probably where I dig.
And then there's like some psychic book which is like, read the minds of your friends and enemies, and it's like and then there's one book that says, because this is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah.
It says The Big Bumper Book of Demon Summoning, Volume 2.
Of course, it's Volume 2. Probably kick myself, look for Volume 1 for a while, fail.
Can't find Volume 1.
No. This is I was also thinking this might be the first time I've ever checked a book out.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go up there and like put the book down from the librarian and be like, I want this.
As you put the book down, the librarian like opens a book, stamps it, closes it. She's like staring straight ahead, and she like moves it to the side, goes for another book. There's no book there, and her hand kind of like grasps for a second, and then she blinks slowly, and then she looks down at you. Sorry, dear, I was miles away. What did you say?
Oh, you were checking that book out for me.
Oh, of course. And she opens it and stamps it and hands it to you. There you go, dear.
You okay?
Oh, yes, everything's fine.
Okay. Thank you. I should just kind of feel lucky, but also like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She feels fortunate because she wasn't asked for a library card. I don't know.
No,
I assume they have all that, like nothing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And
Totally.
it was double stamped, and the lady noticed nothing.
Yeah, no.
So she's just kind of drift away. And I'm assuming it's a big, like, awkward kind of book. As old books usually are.
It's kind of like a double hander.
Yeah, like a hugger. Yeah.
It's a big
Yeah, she'd probably hug it up and go try to find her buddies to
Yeah.
get the hell out of there before the lady notices she didn't really check it out.
Joel has an Archie comic.
Oh, I used to love Archie.
Moose.
Oh, bless his heart.
What a silly dude.
Is he holding it upside down?
No, he's got it right.
Okay,
way up.
thank God. It's not that bad. Okay, okay.
And he looks up at you. He goes, "What you get?"
Cookbook.
Oh, you thinking about getting into food?
Nah, but someone's got to feed sis.
Right. I love.
You know what's up.
Hey, you can cook something for me. I'm not.
Yeah, dude, it's one of them cookbooks that teaches you how to make like a meal for 10 out of onions and potatoes. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I'll invite you over sometime. It'll be sick.
Hey, George. You know what's really weird? Like out of the ordinary, weird, like something I never really thought about until now.
This conversation we're having.
No, come on, I'm being serious.
No, dude, what's up?
How does Archie always get himself into these situations? Like, it happens like every week. That's weird, right?
Yeah, no, you're right, man.
Yeah.
Some people just have no sense of self-preservation.
Yeah, I mean, they have no awareness of what's going on around them. It's stupid.
Right? It's like catastrophe can happen literally at every corner, and they're just smiling. It's
Yeah.
crazy how some people are so oblivious, huh, bud?
Dude.
Your birthday was yesterday, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, happy birthday.
Thanks.
We had cake, do you remember?
Yeah.
We should find Will.
Okay.
You're doing good, bud. Make sure to put the book back. Yeah, you gotta close it.
Right.
Not next to the anatomy books. We'll go looking for Will amongst chess things.
That's what Joel.
I love Joel. He's just become this anonymous person.
Yeah.
Such a friggin' idiot. I love
I
him
feel
so
like he's
much.
that idiot that everyone would love, though. Like the
Yeah.
dumb puppy. You're just like, he's harmless. Nobody hates Joel.
You got that second of being like, oh god, is he gonna talk about what happened yesterday? And then
Yes.
he's just talking
I
about.
thought he was going to
Archie.
remember, or he was going to bring up the fact that we left him at the school, which made me feel real bad.
Dude literally just wandered home and met you the next day and was like, oh George, what's up? Hey, how you doing?
No idea.
Like, it's gone. Yeah, he's
What a wonderful way to exist,
yeah.
though.
People like that are so happy. It's
Right?
yeah.
Ignorance truly is bliss.
So we will fade out on the library and go and join Cecilia.
The fade out is me holding that book above Will's head.
Look what I got, bruh.
Found it! Dunk!
So, Cecilia, time for clubs. What you
Yeah.
doing today?
Glad you're saying multiple ones.
I mean, you know, I am not sure exactly how many clubs Cecilia's in.
Look, for the moment, I have 5 of them pinned down. But you know
I'm
that
sure there are more.
that can increase.
Oh, yeah.
At any point in time. I don't know. Do we want to get into judo this time, or do we just want to do like foreign languages or photography or?
Well, one of the things I will say is that it's been a while since you've gone to judo, and before everything happened and you were kind of spun around on your axis, maybe actually today after the meeting with Mr. Ashford, you remember something, which is part of the reason you're excited to go to the next judo club, because someone new has signed up. Rodney is a new member of judo club.
Right. Then we don't need to ask ourselves any questions about which club we're going to
Yeah.
today, Sheepy.
I feel like Cecilia might actually ignore the other clubs that she's in specifically to get to judo club on time. And
That's a difficult ask. She'll try her hardest to go at least sign into the books in all of them, but Maybe she'll spend less time there than usual, and we'll make it quick. Yeah, just so she doesn't need to miss any of the judo club.
Yeah. And as you get there, you put on your I want to say gi, but I'm pretty sure that's something else.
No, I
is
think
it
you're
gi?
right.
That's correct.
Boo! Look at me.
Look at you.
Yeah, you put on your gi, and what belt do you have again? Is it a brown belt?
I think we decided. Yeah, brown.
Brown belt. Okay. As you walk out, there's a couple of other people with brown belts. They're quite dedicated, and you think they may get the black belt before you.
Excuse me?
Well, just purely because they're only in one club, so they.
Still, excuse me?
Hey, look, I mean, don't shoot the messenger. All I'm saying is that they're closer. Currently.
Yeah, alright. I hear you, Sheepy.
Yeah. You see Joel there, like quite tall, reasonably skinny.
Joel?
Sorry, not Joel.
Oh, yeah.
Rodney. Sorry, too many.
Although that would be
I
hilarious.
thought for a second I was Joel.
What's up? I found this 90.
I joined the karate club, bro.
Oh.
Now
fucking
we
hell.
are all the Karate Kid. Yes.
Wax on, bro.
So sorry, Cece.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So Rodney is there, and he's got his the white belt on, and he's currently being instructed by the sensei, who is just showing him very basic holds and very basic throws, and that type of thing. When you turn up, you're greeted by the rest of the judo club in kind of like a formal manner, and the sensei says, "Okay, everyone's here," and then bows and all the introductions and things like that. And it's like, okay, now I need one of our star pupils to help.
Cecilia's already holding up her hand before he even finishes his sentence.
Yes, Cecilia.
I mean, you're gonna ask someone to help Rodney with the whole beginning basic techniques, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's no one better in this room than me than to help him. So I would be glad to.
And he like looks over at the couple of other brown belts, and they're like, no, don't care. And he's like, oh, I expect nothing less from you, Cecilia. I almost said Joel again. So Rodney, if you'll go and Cecilia will show you the ropes. She's quite talented. You should be able to pick things up quite quickly. If you have any concerns or any worries, speak to me and just call out. And Rodney's like, sure, yeah, okay. And he like walks over to you, Cecilia, stands in front of you, and he's like, am I supposed to bow? I'm still I'm new to this, so I'm not completely sure.
I think up until this point, like the day was Cecilia was actually like just stressed out the day, like from everything that happened in the morning. But the moment she had heard that Rodney had enrolled in judo club, like her vision just changed, and it was like she forgot everything else for a moment.
Yeah.
Like even now, she just forgot everything that happened literally this morning. And so when Rodney walks up to her, she like is holding her hands behind her back and is doing like the little like excited like going up on your tippy toes ones and like then going back down again.
Aww.
And she responds to him and says like you're supposed to bow when you start fighting, but I think it would be way better if I first show you a few of the throws and a few of the techniques before you actually start having a spar.
Yeah. Show me what to do. I want to learn.
I'm sure that someone like you will be able to do all of it perfectly, like in a matter of minutes.
I mean, I wouldn't say that much, but you know, like I got the hang of the you know, the decorations and everything at the Sadie Hawkins.
You see, you seem like a very quick learner type. Very much not bland. And she
Thanks.
she like nods for a moment. She's like, all right, so I'll show you a few of the techniques and like correct you if I need to anywhere. Yeah, right. And she like starts with like explaining a few of the basics to him.
And maybe even go in and do a couple of the grabs, just kind of like, you know, not actually throw him or anything, but just show the position where it's like, and you go like this.
Yeah, and I think like at this point as well, she usually like goes like hard in this and gives it her all and stuff.
Yeah.
But like when she's teaching Rodney, she is like, she's not trying to show off or anything, so she like holds back a little bit as well.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, as we do this, essentially when we get into the actual, you know, showing and a little bit of like a light-hearted scuffle, let's call it. You can take a -1 for not taking it too seriously, along with your bonuses, obviously.
So I need to roll.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go toe to toe.
All right. I will correct you. It's not taking a -1 for like not taking it seriously, but it is holding back. Like
okay, so
bit, right?
it's take a -1 for holding back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Good.
So and yeah.
The good news is that Rodney is a beginner and therefore only has his athleticism. And rolled a 9. Mild success.
I don't know, does strategizing apply here?
I wouldn't say you're taking it serious enough to be strategizing. And also him being a beginner, you're probably not really thinking about how to beat him. You're just kind of showing him the ropes, and it's more of like a demonstration kind of thing.
Yeah, sure. I will just apply a weakness to have the -1 in there.
Okay.
Go toe to toe?
Yes.
I love how the weakness I applied was desperate for recognition.
Yeah, that applies.
But still a 10.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay, question. I'm leaving this open to you. Would you like to, because essentially it's a good success. You beat him. It's a bit closer than you thought. He's actually like, he's not very muscly, but he's quite wiry. Like he's not big, you know, in terms of like, you know, swole, let's call it. But he is decently toned. Something that you can't help but notice while you're, you know, wrestling a little bit here.
I can't help but notice.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna say washboard abs, but you know, it's decently muscled and toned. Would you like to just kind of... It's gonna sound weird for me to say dominate him, but essentially you've got that, or you have essentially going a little bit too far.
So wait, so I can choose whether I
essentially
beat his... Yeah?
Essentially, narratively, you'll either do better than him, which makes sense because you're more learned in judo, or you'll beat him, but it'll go a little bit too far. Essentially, I'll ignite one of your powers.
Well, let me ask the thing here. Like, would I, would Cecilia think that he would like it, if she beat him?
I would say that she's unsure. She doesn't know him that well. But there doesn't seem to be that type of competitive, oh no, I got beat by a girl kind of vibe to him, at the very least.
Yeah.
You don't think it would humiliate him? Because you're a brown belt and he's a white belt, like he's a beginner.
Yeah. Well, I guess then the choice would be to just beat him or go beyond and like show what I have.
Yeah.
And since Cecilia has been holding back, I think I would say that she would just like beat him, but not like go further and
Okay.
like really push him into the ground, you know?
Okay. In that case, after a little bit of like correcting his footing and all this type of thing, you're like, oh, and this is how you do a throw, and you like grab him, you like grab his belt, you like swing him over, and you kind of like land him on the ground, and you realize as you do that you have essentially thrown him onto bed. Like that's the kind of position you're in there. You know what I mean? Like you're now over him. Well, he's
Cecilia's
flat on the ground.
mind goes back to her like smutty romance novels at home for like a second. She's like, "Oh God, no!" She's like,
Yeah, and I imagine that she kind of shakes out of it and like stumbles back, like
Yeah.
not super obvious, but just a little kind of
And
awkwardly.
she like, yeah, but she even says like, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Oh no, it's fine. I have to, and he kind of picks himself up. He's like, I have to learn. What do you say we take a quick break? For 5 minutes, and then we can, you can show me a few more moves.
Oh, if you need a break, yeah, I think.
Okay, I'll grab us a
would
drink. And he like jogs over towards the like soda machine, and hits what was Cecilia drinking back then?
Back then, Sheepy, you're asking me what drinks were like typical in the 90s.
Like Coke, Diet Coke,
Surge.
Dr. Pepper, Mountain Dew,
Mellow
Tang.
yellow.
Tang.
What is the drink that, for example, Tori and her type of people would drink? Because I imagine Cecilia wouldn't be allowed to drink soda like at home, but she would if she had the choice, and if someone were to offer her something, she would want to take the thing
I mean,
that's
Tori is definitely a Sprite drinker. Let's be real.
Okay, there you
Diet
go.
Sprite.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah. Okay,
there
so
you go.
he hits and comes back. He has himself a Diet Pepsi, and like gently flings over a Diet Sprite to you.
She fumbles a bit catching it. And, like, then after that, she, like, again is holding it, but, like, her fingers are, like, twisting around it a bit in, like, a very, like, nervous gesture. And she just, like, holds it up. She's like, thanks.
I got that right? Like, I remember
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what you were...
Yeah,
Cool.
you got it right. I'm surprised that you would still, remember this. It's been like a while now.
Yeah, my brain's weird like that. It remembers random facts, random things.
Yeah.
And there's like a little awkward pause for a second.
And then Cecilia would probably fill that in.
Yeah.
Like she
can't help herself.
she's nervous in this situation right now, and she can't help herself. So the next thing she would say is like, "So I talked to what was it? Was it Christine?
Yeah.
I talked to Christine recently. I didn't know you guys broke up."
Yeah. It's just I don't know. Like it just didn't work out. I guess. She's kind of extreme, intense.
Yeah. You can definitely say that.
How about you? Did you are you still with your boyfriend?
My what?
Your boyfriend. I remember because I was hoping you were gonna ask me to the Sadie Hawkins dance, and
She when he says that, she drops again.
yeah.
And then like haphazardly tries to like crouches and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then she like picks it back up again and says like, sorry, you what were you saying?
Oh no, it's just I can't remember. I was talking to someone about how I hoped you were gonna ask me, and then this guy, it's quite a short guy came up to me and said that you guys were dating, and so I just gave up on that for, you know. I don't know, you know.
Sorry, I have never dated someone in high school.
Really?
I-
That's so weird. Why? Why did you
Yes.
say that you were? He like takes a drink.
That's so weird.
Well, it's probably just a misunderstanding or something.
Yeah. You were gonna ask me, but no, I sorry. Do you hope that I would ask you?
Well, yeah, because we worked on the Sadie Hawkins dance together, you know, the decorations, the organization. I felt like, you know, it would be cool if we could go together, like, you know. But it didn't happen. Like, maybe next dance. I think the next one is like, I'll ask you. We can make up for it, hey?
Celia's shortcutting
Yeah.
at this moment. She's like, I'm sorry. Is it hot in here? It's really hot. I think it's all these people
Yeah,
practicing.
a little bit, I think.
It's very sweaty. I think I need to go and get a breath of fresh air. I'll be right back to show you more throws.
Okay. And he kind of like looks around and like swings his arms as you walk off.
And Cecilia like rapidly walks out of the room.
Yeah, you kind of walk out and you
Yeah.
like you got the bottle and you're like are you scrunching it or are you keeping it?
Yeah.
Okay, you're scrunching it, yeah. What I will say is after you've kind of calmed down a little bit and you've come back in, I'm really sorry. Rodney is with another partner, being taught by one of the other brown belts, and when you walk in and you like look around for him, you see that he's like there's another guy, like he's just like going through the basics and the leg hooking and stuff like that, and the sensei like sees you come in and says, Cecilia, can you help me over here with this, and he points at another kind of like, it's a yellow belt this time.
And she gives another glance at like Rodney with the new partner, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, sure."
As you help teaching the new one of the newer pupils, I'm going to leave Cecilia with the knowledge that Rodney did technically ask her to the dance, and she technically did not answer. He suggested that, you know, you could make up for it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Cecilia
Yeah, totally.
panicked and ran away.
Totally.
Brutal.
So
Socially awkward. What can you do?
Yeah, and not used to that type of, you know, interaction at all. So let's take a moment. I don't think we really have the time to get all the way there. So what I will say is let's set up the evening where all of you will be, I guess, gathering together. Maybe at apologies, there we go. Outside, maybe outside school, in the parking lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say school would probably be it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like after school activity is gonna be
After-school
like the same
activities.
sort of time everybody's like leaving.
Yeah. You find yourselves all getting there together, you know, a few minutes of each other as let's say the sun is starting to set. So you can kind of decide, like, you know, go home and then re-meet up or etc. Could I take the assumption that Tori is taking the lead? Yeah.
I mean, Tori's gonna try and gather everybody up at school. Like, no
Okay.
going home and coming back or any of that bullshit. Like, we deal with this like right away.
So I would say that you probably...
She has a vehicle, so she's just sitting near, like,
Yeah.
she's leaning against the door, like, waiting to see these people exit the building, which they will.
Oh God,
You
it's
have to do a get in loser line. Get in
Yes,
losers.
I am
We're going
going-
negotiating.
I am going to get in loser zoo, correct.
Okay.
Yes. You probably see Joel and I like stumble down the stairs out of the school. Like he pulls a joint out of his pocket, and we're like, tee hee hee. Completely, have forgotten everything that's happening after school. most
There's
likely.
there's a look to you and like Joel that's like,
daggers in my soul.
well, because it's like, why the fuck is Joel there? You know what I mean? Like that's the problem.
I probably like make that really intense eye contact with you, holding the little spliff, and be like, and pat it into Joel's hands and just kind of scoot him on his way, and he'll like a puppy, you know, go, just go.
Go on without me.
Okay.
I
To the
don't
skate
want
park
to
by
look at you
himself.
when I do this.
Yeah. And then, you know,
Good,
kind of like
good, good.
hoodie up and come over
And as
to
you
the car.
as you like slope on over to Tori and you're like, there's an awkward pause. You just hear Joel going, "All right, see you later, dude." And then he just kind of wanders.
Poor Joel. I can't look back.
Tori is
Can't look
not.
back.
Tori is not charmed by Joel. Joel is a fucking loser.
He's a
loser,
burnout for sure.
loser
Yeah.
burnout idiot. Like, she is not as enthused as we are out of character by Joel's antics.
I could see her being very, very unimpressed.
He's a judgmental bitch.
Does William come over with George, or is
Oh,
that,
yeah.
Okay, so
Yep.
So William, George, and Tori, and then I imagine Cecilia maybe like a minute later rolls up, and the four of you pretty much have to decide what the plan of action is, I guess.
I mean,
Easiest
if we've got
easiest way we're gonna get this done, Tori says to everybody, is we just drive to where we need to go, find whatever this thing is, deal with it, and then everybody go their separate ways, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Weren't we supposed to hit up the graveyard or something?
Graveyard and also supplies. Remember, bread, milk.
Oh.
I'll say that you picked up the jug from the clock from.
Yeah. Grabbed it on the way out for sure. One of us at least.
Who wants the jug?
Yeah.
Well-
Who wants the big jug?
I guess I can
I'll
carry
keep it.
Well, this is interesting. I would say that Tori probably grabbed it, being the most proactive person at the moment. So Tori, who do you hoist the jug on?
I was gonna say the same thing. You probably thrust it into someone's tits. Yep.
I give it to Cecilia.
Okay.
100%. The only person in this group I can vaguely trust to do something correctly.
I was gonna say the same thing. It's probably the only human you trust
How
to do it,
rude.
not like a dumb.
And accurate.
All right. I'll keep it with me, but So how about we meet up somewhere? I gotta pass by home, and we need to. The whole thing we need to do. It's like when the sun goes down, and
It's already going down. We can get there. It'll be dark. We get it done, and then you can go do whatever you need to do. I also have to
We
get
have to hit
home,
up the
but-
graveyard anyways.
you guys can
Right?
like.
I look to Cece and I'm like, so can you get there? Like to the fort, like north of town, like meet us there?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then we'll do the shopping and whatever, and we'll meet you there when you're done whatever is taking up your time.
Do you want like company? This feels bad.
No, I'm fine. I'm just gonna pass by home. That's what's taking up my time.
Isn't home where the Chamanabra was?
Not anymore.
Oh,
Holy
sick.
shit, cold.
But I-
Badass.
Still need
Damn.
to, inform my dad, who probably just found a dead horse's body.
Oh, sick.
Sure,
All right.
fine. We'll
So,
do
like-
it that way.
Meet you. Watch for them chimichangas, girl. And I'll like hop in the car over the side or whatever. Plop in the back.
George just shotguns.
Head out the window like a dog.
Yeah. Okay. Can I take it?
I just saw that.
Yeah, I just said that to you. I was like, oh damn, she saw that. Cool. It went as
Like
soon
mines.
yeah. as soon as you said like the shamalama, I was
Shamalama ding dong.
like, you have to call it the chimichanga.
That's so great. Literally as I said it,
Yeah.
she sent me a message. Chimichanga. Like mines.
I would assume, Cecilia, you don't have anything you want to play out. It's just essentially she has to go home because she is
just has to
responsible.
separate. Yeah.
Did you find your dad?
Is he alive?
Well, I mean,
I'm curious about Papa.
we would.
We
Alive?
fade to black.
Yeah, we would assume so, right? So we will rejoin everyone after you've grabbed the milk and the bread. I'm assuming just a jug of milk and a loaf of bread.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, we probably didn't.
It's
we
that white. It's that white ass Wonder Bread stuff, and
Which is made in Denver.
Like some 2% in a carton.
Yeah.
And question: are you going to the graveyard or are you going to the
I
forest?
think we have to go to the graveyard first, right? That was
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was gonna give us he was gonna give us like direction.
Yeah, directions.
Help of some
essentially.
kind.
We're not monster hunters. Going to
No.
the forest and just standing in the woods and being like, "Come on out!" It's
Yeah.
not gonna work for us.
I don't know what you're doing, but stop.
Come on, motherfucker! One at a time, or all at once. I'll take you on.
We're a bunch of high school kids trying to figure out how to bait a ghost. Or
We have one person who can eat stuff. We have one person who can rip you to shreds, and we got two people who can look at you.
Look at you.
So, what I will say is, you get to the, you kind of park up. Cecilia's a little bit later than you, just purely because she has a bit further to drive, even with you both going shopping. You get out and kind of, all right, well, let's do this. And you open this kind of rusty iron gate that lets you into the graveyard and start walking down the path. It's dark, like there's not many lights. The main light you can see is this kind of like shack with one of those kind of lantern things like above it and shining and etc. Quite dark and it's quite it's quite spooky. It's a graveyard.
Can I say something though?
Yeah.
Would I have been able to like take a lantern or something from my home to take with? Because Cecilia seems like the type of girl that plans trips out.
You could totally have
And-
like a torch, like that type of thing.
Yeah,
Barns
like
have that stuff all over the place, don't they? Like lanterns and like electric
What's-
lanterns and
Oh,
stuff.
totally.
What's it in
Flashlight.
Flashlight, yeah. You could,
Yeah. Torch, flashlight. I knew what you meant.
Yeah.
We're worldly.
Yeah. What I will say is, as you're walking, William, your eye twitches,
Oh dear.
and you hear this kind of like almost like gravel or like kind of like very soft rumbling, and you look to your side and you see fingers kind of coming out of the ground.
Mm.
and
Out of a grave.
yeah, out of one of the graves. And then this kind of like, this head kind of starts pushing out of the grave, like very slowly. Before you have a chance to basically be like, you all hear this heavy metallic clang as like as a shovel
Oh, no, you
lands
don't.
on top of the
Yeah.
on top of the head of this zombie that's trying to come out of the grave, and then another one. Oh no, you don't. And then this
It's whack-a-mole.
this little kind of wizened, quite slight old man, like shuffles forwards and goes into his pocket and gets out this kind of like little packet of salt and tears it, shaking a little bit.
I love the idea that he has
I love the little
small
salts.
McDonald's
Yeah,
salt packets.
it's the little restaurant salt things, and
Yeah, I love that.
and
I think like while we're like watching that, I'd kind of like nudge Tori ahead and be like, I think that's the one.
Tori looks like she's gonna puke. Like there's just like a incredible amount of random violence that just happened. Like a shovel just
Yeah.
beat in the head of a zombie, right? Like she
I
has
love
like a vaguely nauseous expression.
And then it kind of puts the empty salt packet back in his pocket,
Yeah.
and then his
No littering.
head like snaps up, and he's like, "What are you kids doing here? You should be at home in bed. Go away, shoo."
We're alive.
Hi, Mr. Ashford, send us.
Ashford,
Will just points at the grave and goes, "What was that?"
Ashford,
Yes, Ashford.
Ashford.
Little dark glasses all the time.
Yes, I know the man. Yes, I'm not that old. I'm going senile. Why? Who? No.
Where?
Why? What?
We're here looking for a. Well, not here looking for a puka, but we've got a puka to find in the woods.
Yes, the puka. I asked for some help. Oh, yesterday. Why weren't you here yesterday?
What?
We were pretty busy yesterday, she says, holding back the desire to vomit.
Well, you're here now. Yes,
Clearly.
We're here.
and
I
you're
think
alive.
so.
Yes.
Yep.
Again, clearly.
She looks at everybody and goes, I would guess as much. Yeah.
Good. Perfect. Alive people, much easier to deal with. Come. Right. And he right, starts kind of using the shovel as a little bit of a walking stick and like shuffles onto the path, and then kind of.
I love the idea of George noticing that Will is still standing and looking at the grave, pointing and going back and like grabbing him by the arm. Come on, we're going.
Yes, no, we're not going to no touch that. No touch, no.
Right.
And I follow him at least.
Yeah,
with
and
Will dragging Will.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think I've got like one of those death stone arm grips on Will's arm,
Yeah.
so I probably don't realize I've got him.
Yep,
But
yep,
I've got
yep.
him forever now.
He kind of shuffles over to the edge of the fence graveyard bit and then points out in the forest and says, "That's where the bugger is." Well, we wouldn't say bugger. He'd say, "That's where the
We say bugger.
Oh, really?
That's where that darn there bugger
That's
is.
where that darn there boy is."
Mr. Ashford said you could help. We don't know what we're doing here to it or with it. He said you could help.
Get rid of it.
Please don't hit me with your shovel.
I'm not gonna hit. You're not dead.
That's true.
There you go. It's fine. Get rid of it. Go talk to it. Get rid of it. It won't listen to me. I'm not giving it.
Dogs.
I'm not giving it any food.
And she's gonna look back at Cecilia with the food, like, "Oh, are we bait? Is this
What
bait?"
would it
The bread and
hypothetically?
the milk.
What would it
Brandon.
hypothetically do if we would give or put it out a piece of bread and dip it in milk?
Well, it depends how angry it is.
What makes
Go
it
through
angry?
all of the stages of anger and describe what it would do.
Well, it's been pestering me for food for about 2 weeks. But I
Seems
don't
like a
give
simple
in.
solution to your problem. Then you should just give it food, and this will stop pestering you.
I don't negotiate. My position is very clear. It is not welcome here. It needs to go away.
But if we feed it, won't it just stay?
Well, don't feed it then. Get rid of it. That's what you're here for.
Then won't it be mad?
Huh?
Didn't you say it'll get mad?
It's okay. We can figure it out.
We can talk to it. So that's...
Where are we gonna find it?
And he like, points out on the edge of the forest there. Go in that direction and you'll find it.
Okay.
So if it gets mad and we give it food, it'll calm down.
Hopefully.
We should have brought something other than bread and milk.
Tori just looks at everybody like, I think we're gonna have to wing it.
Do you want more dead people in here? Just hypothetically. Or would you prefer alive people?
I would get in trouble if I had alive people in my graveyard.
Yeah, but right now we're here alive. Would you rather have us dead here?
Well,
No, right? That would be silly, right? Because we're coming to solve your problem, right?
How likely are you to come back? I've got enough of those problems at the moment.
While they're talking, George just walks towards the woods.
So are you gonna make sure that we don't become a problem? And you're gonna help us?
Does George still have William in a lock and he's
Yep.
just being dragged along?
It's a death grip, man. You don't have circulation anymore.
I'm just looking between Cece and the other two.
I would love to help. I'm not as
Thank
spry
you, that's
as I used
so
to
kind
be.
of you. We'll be
Um,
relying on it then. If we scream bloody murder, you will surely come and help us with your shovel.
Well, I would probably not use the shovel. It's...
You see, you have better things. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, you know, if I can be of help, of course I would like to be of help. And...
Of course, someone as
Cecilia, I
competent
need
as
your
you will do
torch.
that.
Torch!
All
And
right,
you'll
we'll
probably
be
see
going
just
now.
one pale ass hand in the dark.
Okay, I'll listen out for screaming murder.
Good, thank you so much, sir.
Good luck. And he like turns around. You hear the clunk, clunk, clunk of his shovel as he heads back, and he's muttering like, "Kids, strange kids, stupid kids, stupid dead, undead, bloody damn zombies in my backyard."
Off to the woods, sheepy.
And we will fade out as you
Yeah.
walk towards the woods.
I know why, but god damn it, I need to write note.
I was about to say I'm running on fumes.
Yeah.
Frick.
Apologies, that went a little bit over, but we'll do a quick outro.
I
Yeah,
didn't even realize it
do a
was
quick
so
outro.
freaking late. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't have spoke so much. That was just a really intense scene, y'all.
It
Oh my
was.
gosh, the poor Europes. Look at them passing out.
Yeah, it's 11:30
The poor
p.m.
Europe.
I love y'all.
Okay, so I won't do any wandering in outros today. We'll just touch on everyone quickly and be like, "Yo, what's up? This is how you do holds. This is how you throw people on the bed," and we'll be out of here.
Oh.
That's a judo callback. So let's start off with
The Patreon. Everyone check out the
no,
Patreon.
No, we're not doing
Go to the damn Patreon. We're all gonna say it. Nothing's
Hey.
worth your time unless you go to the Patreon. 'Cause
Keep-
Patreon doesn't exist. We don't exist. Sheepy doesn't exist. The world's a sad place.
Okay.
Judo flip on over to the Patreon. That's what Bertrand said.
Because I am constantly blocking him with power with his supernatural powers. Let's start with William and also LZD.
Such a, I don't know.
You're gonna get that.
I block.
Yeah.
Yeah, check out the Patreon, guys. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to check out the Patreon. And you can find me on Patreon. No, you can find me on twitch.tv and Twitter and Instagram at Lima Zulu Tango. I'm going to be making a fancy leather pirate hat soon, as soon as I get the leather for it, which I've ordered. and then the supply was out of stock. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. And also, I'm playing a bunch of games, but I'm also writing essays and doing group assignments and stuff because I'm in university. So yeah. Thanks for playing. Thanks to my fabulous co-conspirators.
Oh yeah.
And also that guy. GP. Hot potato with Syrinx.
Hey, what's up? I'm so glad that everyone's still alive. You know? Just like take a moment to take it all in.
Yeah.
You know? So glad. Affirmations in beginning of the session really did work out splendidly.
Yes.
Hey, what's up? I'm Syrinx. Been playing Cecilia. Had a great time. I do I do some role-playing stuff. Enough. I'm not gonna say I need more. Enough for the moment. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter as Syrinx. You know, I just had a lovely little blast today. And I'm looking forward to next Monday. Also, if you want more Mondays to be filled like this, you should probably go to the Patreon. But we're not doing that right now, really. We're not doing that. So I will hot potato it over to Katie.
Oh snap! Check out that Patreon, y'all. Just fucking do it. Thank you. Hi, my name is Classic Katie. It's wonderful to be here. This is my favorite day of the week. I look forward to it all the week, and now I have a million notes to obsess over for the next 6 days. I'm stoked about it. Thank you for that, Sheepy. You're wonderful and haunt me. Today was super fun, though. I had the pleasure of playing George for you, who apparently... I mean, honestly, I was playing off the 90s phrase, like, eat me or bite me, with the I'm gonna eat 'em. I'm glad some of you caught on to that in chat. Thank you for that. You can find me on twitch.tv/ClassyKatie. Yep, that's me. Forgot there for about 2 seconds. I've been playing Boyfriend Dungeon. So that's a traumatizing experience, but it's been fun. But it explains why I've never dated ever in the real life, because if this is anything like it is, like, fuck that. I'm out. Thank you guys for hanging out. Patreon. I bounce over to Elf.
Hello, it's me. I'm Elf.
It's a me.
It's a me, Elf. You can find me at twitch.tv/DistractedElf or on Twitter @DistractedElf. I really loved today's game because getting all 4 of us in the same room is like, yes, goals. Like episode 5, we're finally all in the same scene.
Twice, 2 different scenarios too. Like
Yeah.
once with a teacher, so we had 2 different personality.
Yeah.
Flip sides of the coin, I guess. I don't know what you say.
Anyway, there's plenty of stuff I could say, but yeah, see you guys later. Sheepy, do the thing.
Oh yeah, I'm Sheepy, I do the thing. I am going to roll us out to the outro, because we do the outro and then we're all off. I'm going to leave everyone with a thought as we leave. Thank you for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next week. The thought I'm going to leave you with is that, very interestingly, we had the whole intro with Cecilia and the chupacabra and the details of, like, what happened, where it was, completely opened, like torn in half and everything. And I didn't see anyone posit the possibility of some type of possession or we all assumed that Cecilia defeated it, but what if she didn't?
I mean, I tried, but she was so adamant about not talking about it.
I'm leaving you with this thought. Goodbye, everyone.
God damn
See you later.